What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live watch along today. Europa League action, Bodo Glimt. Yeah, Bodo Glimt. We'd probably never heard of them about 3 months ago, but this is where we're at, people. Bodo Glimt against Arsenal, Europa League group stage action up there by the Arctic Circle in Norway. Tiny little stadium, 8,000 capacity, 4G pitch. You know, this ain't the glamour of, Barcelona or Real Madrid or AC Milan. It's Bodo. Hello, Moto, as I've been saying, people. So listen, we are where we are. We just need to win the game, keep it moving, get ourselves back to Premier League action at the weekend. Apparently, it's 7 Celsius over there, which isn't too bad. A lot of people were predicting heavy snow over there. So the weather is not too bad, It's similar to probably what England is at this time of the year. Anyway, Northern Lights settings, man. Let's turn the Northern Lights bright red. Come on, man. Big up everyone in the chat, C Unit community. Shout out each and every one of you on YouTube and Twitch. Appreciate the support as always. Lick down that like button on entry. Just caress it on the way in, people, And let's hope we win the game today. And qualification's pretty much secure if we win this game today. We won't have actually won the league yet, won the group yet, should I say. I think we'll have to win one of the 2 games against PSV, what are coming up next. I've got to be honest, PSV is probably where the competition's going to get a little bit more lively. Zurich were poor. Bodo Glimt were not too bad, but, PSV are probably a team that usually would be in the Champions League. They lost in the qualifying game against Rangers. Rangers, obviously, we saw them got absolutely annihilated last night to Liverpool, which I think shows you how big a victory that was for Arsenal on Sunday, beating that Liverpool team. So, Gakpo and PSV, next couple of games is where I think it will get a little bit more difficult. So yeah, man, let's see how we get on. Seb said I'm still hyped from the Liverpool victory, 100%. Enjoy that until the next Premier League game for sure. Big up Earl, who says, big up Big C, and community feels amazing catching the C Unit stream. Brat, big up everyone who's tuned in. Early kickoff tonight. I actually prefer this in the sense that, get the stream done and then you can maybe chill out and watch another game later on. Yeah, what does everyone make of Milan and Barcelona, people? Looks like Barcelona are going to drop into the Europa League. Now, I saw a lot of Arsenal fans laughing, saying, Barcelona falling into the Europa League. But actually, is that good news for Arsenal? I know this is a Barcelona team that are not... They're nowhere near the Barcelona of 3 or 4 years ago when Messi was ripping it up and stuff like that. And I know Arsenal and Barca, there's no love lost between the two of them. Arsenal felt quite cheated back in the day when we played them, the Van Persie red card and so on. But I'll be honest, I don't want to see a team like Barcelona in the Europa League. I'm gonna keep it 100 because that's still a difficult game over 2 legs. I actually believe we could potentially beat Barcelona, but it's still a tougher game than a lot of the games that we maybe would have had in the Europa League. Think last season, people, Frankfurt against Rangers was the final. I would have fancied Arsenal to have beaten both of those teams. This year, you're talking about Barcelona, looks like AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Juventus. 4 or 5 big hitters on their way to the Europa League. So this competition is going to get a lot more difficult when it comes to the knockout stage. That is for sure, people. We are better than Barca at the moment, but avoid all the big clubs. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I agree with a lot of you. I think we could beat Barcelona over 2 legs, but equally, if we weren't at it, we could still get beat by Barcelona. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Dembele is a serious front three. It's their defense that seems to be a little wide open. Lay said, love for the love, Big C. Big up to you, bro. Rennie says, Curtis, do you think we should go for De Jong? Looking at his condition in Barca, very difficult to get him out. He's also on, I believe, nearly 400,000 a week, which is why the move to Manchester United didn't happen. So I couldn't see Arsenal signing De Jong and paying him those kind of wages. Vernon said, I want to beat the big teams. Listen, ideal world, we beat all the best teams in this competition. Beat Man United, beat Barcelona if they drop out. Get an epic victory in the final against, Atletico Madrid. But in reality, I don't mind us just playing much easier teams and just coasting to victory. But it is what it is. Vinith said Mbappe or Haaland. Listen, I've always been a bigger Mbappe fan than Haaland, 100%. I think he's got more to his game all round. But I do not like this Mbappe right now. I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he's playing football. The money's gone to his head. Too much power too soon. Needs to humble himself. And I don't think he should have stayed at PSG. So right now, I think most people would say Haaland is, because Haaland is set in the way he plays and what he does. It's simple. I score goals. I move and I finish. Ivan Drago settings. I was always a believer that Mbappe was going to become the best player in the world. I think he's made the wrong move staying at PSG. He needs to get out of there for me. But now he's on €1 million a week. How do you get him out of there? Who's going to pay him that wage? I'd love to play Barca, no offence to Europa League, but these teams are dead food. Hope I don't jinx it. I mean, listen, we're in the group stage. You only play really one half-decent team in the group stage, which for us will be PSV. When you get through the competition, there are better teams in this competition. I mean, and especially with teams obviously dropping out of the Champions League. Man United are in it. Monaco, Real Betis. I mean, yeah, it's not great. I think more the Champions League dropouts will be where it becomes a little bit more tricky moving down the line. C-Unit Business, big up Nimsy, man, big up. Temi said Haaland has no drama. Massive part of your football career is how you conduct yourself. You can be a great player. If you're a troublemaker, it can effectively hold up your career. When have you ever seen Lionel Messi in any kind of scandal or major trouble? All right, he didn't pay a little bit of tax, but, he's not falling out of nightclubs. He's not falling out with people. Just concentrates on his football, really. K Hayes, big up Big C. Just finished my online course for the day. Now it's time for Curtis Shaw TV. Big up, big up, big up. Big up, everyone. Whatever you're doing, whatever you've done today, work, studying, whatever, early kickoff today. Let's just handle business, win the game, keep it moving. 1,000 of you in the chat already. Brilliant support. 28 of you on Twitch. Let's go. Like the video and subscribe, people. Let's talk about the starting lineup because we have picked an interesting lineup. Now, I'm not going to say too much because every time I have a little moan about something in the lineup, it's worked out. So I'm not going to say too much. However, I've got one thing to say in particular. Why has he picked Kieran Tierney on a 4G pitch? That's my first issue. This guy is like a chocolate teapot. He will just melt. As soon as there's a little bit of heat, he's melting. Thomas Partey on the bench. Why? I don't want him to have anything to do with this game. Is it a case of we don't have enough players to fill the bench? So he's had to bring the big guns out. Saliba plays. Let's talk about the team. Matt Turner's in goal, people. Which is no surprise. We expected him to play. Ben White at right back. Surprised at that. I thought Cedric would play. Maybe he's not match fit yet. Tierney plays at left back. Holding and Saliba at centre back. Midfield pivot of Lokonga and Odegaard. That's the way it's being listed. With Fabio Vieira in the 10 role. I think you'll see Odegaard and Vieira interchanging. I think if we dominate the game, those two will play as two number 8s with Lokonga as the holding midfielder. Saka on the right. Again, I'm surprised that Saka is playing. And especially starting. And Reece Nelson plays on the left. Happy about that. I think he needs game time. And Eddie, a.k.a. Eddie Murphy, Edward Nketiah starts through the middle. I'll show you the bench shortly, people, but I'm just genuinely surprised at a few of the players. There are a lot of academy players on the bench, which is great. But, Partey on the bench. Surely you'd have been better off saying to Thomas Partey, just rest. He's injury prone. Why make him travel? Listen, I suppose from Mikel Arteta's point of view, he will tell you that this, from what we're reading, Bodo actually have a decent record at home in Europe. But I would imagine that teams struggle to play on a 4G pitch. Ash said, Curtis, what's your view on the artificial pitch? I mean, listen, today's generation and academies and stuff like that, they're training on 4G pitches all the time. The majority of this Arsenal team, I would imagine, have not played on a 4G pitch for a long, long time. It's football, innit? The pitch is flat. It won't bobble, but certainly slower. I feel the ball rolls slower on 4G than it does on a grass pitch. It's heavier as well. It's harder to run on. The ball doesn't roll as true. So they've got to be careful. They've got to be careful. It's something that you don't want injury-prone players to be playing on. The likes of Kieran Tierney, the likes of Thomas Partey, you know. So I'm really, really surprised that Kieran Tierney is starting this game. I'm going to be totally honest. Where I think the problem is that Tierney didn't play against Tottenham, didn't play against Liverpool, probably won't start against Leeds on Sunday. So Mikel Arteta's probably thinking, I've got to give him game time to keep him happy. So unfortunately, it's landed on a 4G pitch. So yeah, I think we do lack squad depth, which is why I've said all along, people, that I think we have to get 2 players in January. I know we were speaking yesterday's stream about, you know, could we get Tielemans? Could we get Douglas Luiz? Could we get Danilo? We were linked with Trossard from Brighton. I think he's a pretty good winger who could come in and offer us squad depth. We can't always necessarily sign a top player when you've got a top player in that position. With Saka and Martinelli playing out wide, I don't think Arsenal will go for a 60, 70 million pound winger. They want a good winger that can come in, that can push them and offer us squad depth. If you had a Trossard and a Douglas Luiz tonight, they could play. Saka wouldn't have to play. So it is what it is. I'm hoping get the game tied up early, get Saka off, get Saliba off, and get Kieran Tierney off. Probably get Odegaard off as well. And get Ben White off. So, yeah, we're going to have to be careful. My biggest nerve, the thing that's making me the most nervous tonight is potential injuries, not actually whether we'll win this game or not, because I do believe we will win this game, even though it is on a 4G pitch. So let me know what you think in the comments about this team selection, people. Are you a little bit worried about the team? Seeing Saliba, Ben White, Tierney, Odegaard. I always kind of thought Odegaard was going to play this game with it being back in Norway. And you know, being in his home country, he's going to have a little psychological connection to this game. So, you know, he'll be captain as well. I'm sure it's a proud moment for him. Jacques, I am King said, Coman out. Actually, I was supposed to send that last season. Yeah, take that out your drafts, man. Things are looking up this season. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that. Beanie Man said, yeah, bro, I'm worried. Listen, let's hope we just get the game tied up. 2 or 3-0 up at half-time. Take the big guns off. Think about Leeds at the weekend, you know? That would be what we would ideally want to do. Jacques said, what's up, Big C? Normally watching from Indiana in the US, but now from south of France. Let's go. Living that life south of France. Cannes, or where you at? Nice? Living good down there, man. Big up yourself, bro. These kickoff times are wild. Hey, this is what you get when you're in the Europa League, you know. They're putting it on before EastEnders comes on later. We're not even priority over, you know, basic television, people. But you know what? Just get the game won and we move on. Anyway, couple things to talk about. Let's talk about the Arsenal bench so you're aware of who we can bring on if necessary. As I keep saying, people, I'm at a point where I'll be honest, I've had enough of Europa League. I need to see Arsenal back in the Champions League. It was fun the first couple of years, you know, yeah, that's great at the start. In the end, it gets a bit jarring. You're like, come on, man. I'm watching Champions League Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm like, nah, man, we need to be invited to that party. Right now, we can't get in the nightclub, people. We need to sort it out. This is the Arsenal bench. Ramsdale on the bench. Hine on the bench. Again, do you really need to take Ramsdale to this game? You've got Matt Turner. Hine's the third choice goalkeeper. Does he need to travel? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I just think sometimes you should give players the night off. Stay at home. Put your feet up. Don't even travel. I know a few of the AFTV boys have travelled over, Cecil, Lee and Brennan, Julian, and they were saying, you know, you have to get 2 flights to get to this game. Fly to Oslo, then get a little flight across. So it's not the easiest of travelling. So, you know, the likes of Partey, did he really need to be going? But anyway, this is the bench. Ramsdale, Hine, Tomiyasu, Cedric, Ibrahim, Gabriel Magalhaes, Thomas Partey, Matt Smith, Granit Xhaka, Marquinhos, Martinelli and Edwards. So we've got a number of young players. Edwards, Smith, Ibrahim, Hine. All players that play for, you know, the under-23s. It's a great opportunity for them to travel and maybe get some game time. For me personally, I would rather the likes of Martinelli don't even touch this pitch. Just leave him. Just leave him. We got to protect these players at all costs, because the problem is now we don't have sufficient backup for these players at the moment if they were to get some sort of injury. So, it is what it is, people. Thomas Partey, wrap him up, give him the water bottle, tell him don't worry about it. You don't need to come on. Mark said, Big C, how do you feel about good teams such as Barca, Ajax, Seville dropping down to the Europa League? I mean, a lot of you seemed quite hyped about it when I spoke about it at the start. I'm a little bit different. I would rather those teams stay away from us. I don't want to see Barcelona in Europa League, because even though I look at them as, all right, you're not the Barcelona you used to be, in a Europa League quarter-final, semi-final, thinking back to when we played Villarreal, would I rather be playing a Villarreal over 2 legs, or would I rather be playing a Barcelona? I would much rather be playing Villarreal, because although Barcelona, people are saying, oh, this Barcelona is nothing. This Barcelona's top of La Liga at the moment. So then they can't be that bad. They're level with Real Madrid, who just won the Champions League. Now, it seems they seem to struggle in the cup competitions, but I still think, it's a difficult night at the Nou Camp. But hey, we'll see. If we get them, we got to beat them. But don't get twisted. It would be a hard game. It's a game that we can lose if we're not at it. Juventus look very poor. Now, Juventus are looking poor in the league and in the cup. Juventus are 8th in the table and struggling in their group. Now, Juventus don't worry me the same way, because I look at Barca and I think you have still got top players. You've got Lewandowski up front. Juventus, I do think we would beat. But if we get them, we see what we have to do. Shaquille, yeah, Barca do still have a chance. I believe they have to beat Bayern and beat, what they called, Victoria Pleasant or whatever. And I think Bayern have to drop points. They need a lot to happen, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen, because Bayern Munich are smashing their way through that group at the moment. So there's the bench, people. We kick off in less than 15 minutes. The game is coming around quick. Early kickoff, and we keep it moving, people. Europa League starting to be no joke. It always is the case, though, people. The first year we went in Europa League, we were going to win the Europa League. I've got no doubt about it. We would have beaten that Marseille team in the final. Atletico Madrid drop out the Champions League. They had prime Diego Costa, prime Griezmann. They beat us in the semi-final. We should have won that semi-final, but Oblak made about 20 saves in the home game. Then you look at last year, Frankfurt against Rangers in the final. We would have beat both of them teams in the final. So last year, we're not in the Europa League, and the Europa League is one of the weakest ones that we've seen in years. We come back into the Europa League this year, and Barcelona, AC Milan, Juventus, Seville, Ajax, all these teams are going to drop down into it. So, but it is what it is. If we're going to win the competition, we're going to have to beat these teams. And as I keep saying, people, for me, Arsenal have to be in the Champions League next season at all costs. I think Arsenal need to get in the top 4. That shows the Premier League that we can do it over 38 games. We're a proper team now. You get in the top 4, Europa League just becomes a bonus. If you can win the Europa League, then great. But if you can't, you're in the top 4 anyway. You're already in the Champions League. So the problem is, when we was under Emery, we bottled top 4. Then we was relying on Europa, and then we bottled that as well. Get top 4, Champions League wrapped up, then try and win the Europa League. That's the added extra at the end of the season. And we keep it moving. What you cannot do as a football club is rely on the Europa League to get you back in the Champions League, because it's a cup competition and anything can happen. One bad night at the Nou Camp, Lewandowski bags a hat-trick, and your Champions League hopes are done and dusted, So we got to make sure we get top 4, and then we'll be cool. Rinat said we need winter shopping for sure. Listen, January sales, all the clothes go on sale January the 1st, and you go and get your deals. Arsenal need to be shopping. Listen, yo, have you got this Douglas Luiz in a large? Yeah, let me just check in the stock room for you, sir. Hi, have you got Tielemans in a medium? Yeah, we should have that one. Let me just check. Hi, I've got a click and collect. Can you give me a... What winger? We'll take a Trossard in a extra large. Yeah, we'll do that for you. Go shopping, Edu. I don't want to see no barbecues. Don't want to see no cigars. Go and get players. We need 2 players, 2 good players, and we're cooking, people. You don't get players in, we're hanging on by a thread, literally hanging on. Thomas Partey injury, Gabriel Jesus injury. It's a major problem, I tell you that much, people. TK Maxx settings. TK max settings for real, man. I'm telling you. Do we need a centre back? Probably. I think we can get away with it. I think because we got Saliba, we got Gabriel, we got Ben White, Tomiyasu could play centre back, Holding. I don't think we're desperate. I think listen, in an ideal world, I want 4 top quality centre backs. But I think we can get away with not signing one. I think the money needs to go elsewhere, to be honest. Rule said, where is Cruz? He's just about to go training, actually. I'll take Caicedo from Brighton as a Partey replacement. Don't need to replace him as he's competition. That's what we need. Prediction tonight, I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0 just because of the pitch. I said 3-0 last week. But I'm going to go for 2 because of the pitch. Maybe it slows the game down. But then saying that, we've got a strong team up. So I'll go 2-0. I'll just play it down a little bit tonight. Who is a world-class centre-back? Can you name it? Listen, there's only a handful of what I would call world-class centre-backs. I mean, truly world-class. You're talking Van Dijk, although he's not playing like it. Saliba's got world-class potential. Not there yet. How many others are world-class? Let's be real. World-class centre-backs right now. Thiago Silva was world-class. Sergio Ramos was world-class. I don't think they are now. They're past their best. Marquinhos has improved at PSG. There's not many. Top. Ruben Diaz, maybe. Does he look better in that Man City team because they dominate the ball so much? Let's see how he does when he plays for Portugal in the World Cup. So I think you'd be lucky to name 5 world-class centre-backs. Rudiger, people are saying. Ruben Diaz. PK, not for me anymore. I think his best years are well behind him. Maguire, I mean, he might be a world-class fridge. I don't know about centre-back. Laporte is good, to be fair. I don't think world-class. Kimpembe, not for me. Kian said, yo, Curtis Wildguan from New York. Straight swap for Partey. No drop-off. Who would even... Who would you bring in as a straight? I don't think Arsenal at this moment can buy a centre midfielder that is better than Partey in that role. If there is a player that's better than Partey in that role, I don't think we can get him in the Europa League, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it's a struggle. That position is very difficult. Kessie, Kimmich, I mean, you ain't getting them guys. Kessie just signed for Barca. Kimmich is outstanding, in my opinion. He would cost a lot. Milinkovic-Savic is more attacking. I don't think we could play him in the same role as Thomas Partey. I'd like him next to him, if I'm being honest. World-class fridge, man. I'm telling you, he'll look after the dinner overnight in the fridge. Keep it fresh. Declan Rice, you know my opinion on Declan Rice, man. I prefer jollof rice and peas more useful. Declan Rice is what you call, in my opinion, English hype. He's a workhorse. He runs. He's passionate. He's energetic. He tackles. He heads it. He kicks it. He's a workhorse. But they're talking about 100 million. I'd rather have rice and peas with my jerk chicken on Sunday than Declan Rice, I tell you. And it ain't going to cost me 100 million pound. I'm telling you. Declan's a decent player. You know, I've met him a couple of times as well. He's a cool guy, but I'm saying it. He ain't no 100 million pound footballer. Not even close, mate. Not even close. Give me Bellingham. Give me Pedri. Give me Tchouaméni. Give me Camavinga. That's the generation of centre mids I want to see. Barella and them, man. Declan Rice, good solid Premier League player, but come on, man. English tax written all over it. Nicholas Blackmore, hey Curtis, just had my first child on Saturday. How do I make sure she becomes an Arsenal fan? Listen. I've had these issues myself with Cruz, you know. There's a time he was wobbling. When we was finishing 8th, he was like, yo, maybe Man City, and he was a big fan of Sterling. And I was like, listen, man, they got no history. None of your friends support them. There's no reason to support them. They'll fail eventually. And then, you know, took him to the club shop, showed him the statues of Henry. All right, might have bought him some merch on the way out just to, you know, get into the head, mind games. He's never looked back since leaving that club shop, people, you know, the home shirt, he got football, he got, you know, the bed sheets, all of it, people. So there's no escape now. So number one, Nicholas, you got to hope Arsenal are playing well. Worst case scenario, you get on the Arsenal Direct website and get a whole heap of stuff that you know she's going to enjoy playing with and wearing. It ain't easy, people, I'm telling you. A couple of years ago, I had issues on my hands, you know. He wanted that Raheem Sterling number 7 shirt, but I told him he won't be there long. And now, look, man's gone to Chelsea, so it was all good. The mind games, man, you know what I mean? He'll thank me in the end. It's a good life lesson. Let me tell you something. If you grow up an Arsenal fan in this generation, you're gonna be made of stern stuff when you get older, people, because it ain't easy being an Arsenal fan right now. It's not like when, you know, we was the Invincibles and we walked in school like this, you know, number 14 Henri on the back. We've had some tough years, people, so I'm teaching him for, you know, the world's a changed place now. You're an Arsenal fan, you're going to be a solid kid, you know. You're going to understand some pain. But if you're a Man City fan, you're just going to be one of them spoiled brats who thinks you win everything, you know, and cries when you don't get your own way. So I think, you know, good decision. I said a marketing victim. I said, listen, man, pick any shirt you want. Let's get out of here. But you never leave this club. He went, I want that, and that. I said, yep, cool. Curtis, you fraud. It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done. I can't raise a Man City fan. When Pep goes, they'll be basically Blackburn Rovers. But anyway, Frankie de Jong is a gunner, and I think if we qualify for the Champions League, we should go for him over Bellingham. Again, the problem is nearly 400 grand a week for de Jong, and that's the problem. And Man United want him as well, don't they? It's his old manager. The baby has already been bought. Yeah, come on, man. Hardship there already, people. As an Arsenal fan, you're going to feel some pain, but it'll be worth it when we get to the promised land. We're kicking off in 3 minutes. I haven't even got the channel on. What channel is it on? BT Sport 2 for anybody. Jeez, the players are on the pitch. I nearly missed the game, people. It was all mad. Arsenal v Man United. Can you imagine if that's the Europa League final, by the way? That would be incredible. Cruz wanted the Eddie 40. Nah, none of that. None of that. I smell a hip-hop stream. Soon land, man. I'm telling you, as soon as we break up for the World Cup, things are going on, people. We're at the Clips channel. We're going to try and get the merch. We're going to try and get Twitch going, all of it. I know I've said it for a long time, but it's happening. Dre said, Curtis, why do you complain about some of the big teams dropping into Europa, but you want us to qualify for the Champions League? Make it make sense. I'll tell you why. Because while we're in the Europa League, we're probably not prepared for Champions League. We have a good Europa League team. Once we get into the Champions League, we're going to sign players of a higher level. Therefore, we're going to be more prepared for the Champions League. Work with me, Dre. Work with me, fella. Yeah? And then we'll be prepared for it. So, yeah, that's it, people. That's it. I will do it this time. No excuse. World Cup, quiet time, Curtis Shaw Clips channel coming, Twitch, some hip-hop streams, FIFA, and we'll try and get the merch started. People, we are 2 minutes to kick off. They're playing on 4G AstroTurf. I believe Arsenal have got about 600 or 700 fans over there. Yeah, well, I'll get Fran on some of the World Cup watch-alongs with me. 600 or 700 Arsenal fans over there. Let's hope the players all come through this game all right with no injuries. I'm going for a 2-0 win to Arsenal, even though I think we're far better than them and we have got a stronger team out. So in theory, we should probably win this by more. But I just think that pitch will play some sort of role in this game. That I think it will slow the ball down, is what I'm saying. Curtis Collins going for 3-1. Shaquille said, Big C, I was so overhyped over the Liverpool victory. I ordered the training merch, and right now I'm thinking, why did I spend so much? Listen, I believe Arsenal, you can get your money back 28 days. So, listen, if anything goes wrong, make sure the tags are still on. Get it sent back. Inflation, people. You got to look after the pennies right now. If we go to the World Cup, top of the league, you know. I was going to buy the gold and black hoodie the other day. I can't lie. I was tempted. It's not quite cold enough yet. Anyway, people, give me a score predictions. A minute till kickoff. MD said, let's smash these part-time cashiers. Do you know what? I don't know if they're a full-time team or not, to be honest. Curtis, are they allowed to slide tackle? Because we wouldn't even do it at five-a-side. Listen, you slide tackle on that. Your knees are getting ripped apart, mate. You're going to be... It's problems. I'm telling you, every player better pull their socks up like Thierry Henry. Because if you slide someone, you're finished, people. We're about to kick off. They've caught me on the hop here. This ground, I swear, I used to play in grounds bigger than this. It'll be a good atmosphere there, though. It will be a good atmosphere. Big up to everyone in the stream. 1,700 of you. Lick down that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are about to kick off. Bodo Glimt against the mighty table-topping Gunners. And we are underway, people. Forget Champions Leagues in the new camp. And you know, the San Siro. Bodo Glimt away, up by the Arctic Circle, in front of 8,000 fans. This is what it's all about. Can you imagine what the Conference League would have looked like if this is what Europa League is looking like? But we're underway. To be fair, the AstroTurf looks good. It looks very, you know, it looks better than your local AstroTurf that's probably in your neighbourhood where, you know, all them little black bits that all get in your boots and, you know, it's quite heavy. This looks quite silky. I'm sure they've watered it as well to make it a bit quicker. So here we go, people. I'm going for a 2-0 victory for Arsenal. Ish says 3-0 R9 Hattie. Well, we all know the R9 of the early stages of cup competitions is Eddie. You know, he's like R9 in the knockout stages of Europa and Carabao Cup. Barca v Arsenal can be a possibility. Feel confident. Yeah, I think, listen, winnable but losable is what I would say. Here come Arsenal on the ball. Ben White. Hopefully we dominate possession. Somebody was saying a stat that Bodo have hardly lost a game at home in Europe. So, you know, they must have something. I'm sure people struggle with the atmosphere and the pitch. I think we're quite lucky, actually, because they say a lot of the time they get heavy snow up there. At the moment, it's about 7 Celsius and a little bit of rain, which isn't too bad. Here's Kieran Tierney, left-hand side. Just please get him off this pitch unscathed, and I'll be happy. Moet said a Conference League is probably played in someone's garden. I'm telling you, you play at the back of the local Weatherspoons, people. You know what I mean? The game's not even on TV. And they play at about 10 o'clock in the morning. Kieran Tierney loves this weather. Oh, ball whipped in. Should have scored. Oh, offside there, I believe. Ball was whipped in and cleared away. First half chance of the game for Arsenal. Again, if we score early, I think we can win this game comfortably. Ben White, lovely ball over the top for Saka. Saka did well. Goalkeeper came out, flicked it in. What's the problem there? You don't look offside. Saka's onside there. Pulls it across. Oh, see, you can see as the players are running on the pitch, the water is like splashing. So they've obviously watered the pitch to make the ball, you know, move a bit more silkier, although apparently it has been raining quite a bit over there. E. Ross, I'm telling you, Weatherspoons away. That's the Conference League. So we got away with it. Saka with a crazy high ball there. It's all going wrong. Matt Turner volleys it in the air, moving like Tina Turner again. Why didn't Saliba just head that back to him? Rory Sang said, top flight security of the world, Craig. Not just the city, the world. I'm telling you. No ball above head height. It's like school settings, man. No ball above head height. No slide tackling. What is it? One touch finish. It's all mad. Gunman Khan said Ben White is our second best defender. Easily. Well, this season, no doubt. Saliba then him. Be interesting if he goes... If he ends up going back to centre-back. If Tomiyasu ends up getting back at right-back, does he then drop Gabriel? And here's a ball in behind Ben White. Let's make sure he's our second best defender now. Ball whipped in, Holding. Oh, my days. Great little flick away by Holding. It was nearly a goal at the back post for the mighty Bodo. They win the corner. Ball in behind Ben White there. He was getting done for pace. Bodo take the corner short. Oh, cleared away by Odegaard. We're scrambling up by the Arctic Circle, man. We're all over the place. Holdini did well there. Good little clearance. Slide tackling is harder on the... Bro, you slide tackle on 4G AstroTurf. You're ripping up all your leg. It's all mad. You don't want to be sliding on that, which is probably why they've actually watered it as well. How did E14 not connect? But I don't get how they gave him offside fits. So was it a foul? I don't get it. Big up Persian who said, been a minute. I tuned in. Definitely good to be back. Big up Big C. Always entertaining even though you're a Chelsea Blue. Big up yourself. Oh, here come... Oh, Bodo nearly in again. This is mad, people. Turner collects it. I'm sure you're happy with Oba's contribution to Chelsea anyway. You owe us a favour. So if we come knocking for a Kovacic or someone, you know, just let him go cheap. Bodo, a different team at home. Yeah, man, maybe it was too hot in England, you know. Maybe they couldn't deal with it. Matt Turner with the long kick. Ben White chests it down, loses possession. Someone put in the stream he's our second best defender. Since then, he's been done twice. But no, we've retained possession. Saka, right-hand side, goes on a run. It's got 3 players around him. Tries to find Eddie, gives it away. Arsenal win the throw-in near the halfway line. Steve said Leighton Wingate pitch behind the pub. I'm telling you, that's the kind of thing these lot are playing on. Patrick just tuned in. No Marquinhos. I thought Marquinhos had a really poor game last week. And I'm not writing him off because the week before against Zurich, he was fantastic. Come on stream, quick then. See, look again. Every time you come on stream, you're in a different kit. Real Madrid today. What's going on? Give me a score prediction before you go training.
I'm saying 2-0.
2-0.
Simple.
Who's the goal scorers?
Saka and Odegaard.
Saka and Odegaard. What are you saying? Top of the league. Let the kids know at training, man. Your team's top of the league. Later on. Bye. Persian said Kante wants to stay in London, so he might come to the Gunners. Rather him there than that team Conte coaches. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, the purple. You know, kits. You know, nowadays, man, they get drawn in by the colours. He's like, oh my God, Real Madrid got this purple kit. But you know what? I don't mind him getting these clubs. You know, you can't wear any other club in England. But when we get in the Champions League, we might have to cool off with it. But big up everyone in the comments, man. For bigging him up. He always gets gassed about the comments. Yeah, man's got a Real and a Barca kit and a PSG kit, I think, as well. Wholesome moment. Yeah, man, listen, he's getting hyped. He wants his own YouTube channel. He's saying, I want to do Fortnite and FIFA on YouTube. So I might even have to set him up with a gaming channel as well. Good header there by Saliba. We're not really keeping possession that well at the moment. Eddie looks for sack. I'm telling you now, this is a much harder game than last week. Much harder game. I can just tell already. Fair play to Bodo. They actually look to pass the ball and keep possession. Maybe they're going to know the pitch better than us. You know, they're going to know how to play it. Cruz to be a Galactico. Hey, let's hope so, man. Yeah, man's turning up in Barca and Real Madrid shirts. It's all mad, people. But it is what it is. Them slide tackle burns when it don't even... Yeah, oh... They're the ones that get you worse afterwards, you know. Ball out wide. Pellegrino up against Ben White. Good little ball in. They look dangerous. Ball whipped in. Sambi there should have cleared it. We're scrambling. It's a harder game than Liverpool. It's all mad, people. We can't even get out. Aren't you the one buying them kits? Not all of them. Some of them his mum as well. Not me, you know. But some of them. I can't lie. Is it me or does Ben White look really skinny? Is he? I don't know. I can't really tell. Crafty Skills said, yes, my guy, United fan, but love your work, bro. Appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. United playing tonight, right? They're playing, is it the team from Cyprus? I think that'll be a Ronaldo goal fest at home, I think. Anyone kicking up a fuss about Kane's penalty dive? Did he dive? I haven't seen any of the goals. I think I saw Son's volley. I haven't seen Kane. I heard Kane missed a penalty. You know, he's England's golden boy. The newspapers and Sky Sports, they would never start calling out Harry Kane. You know how this thing goes already, people. It's unspoken rules. You versus Cruz on FIFA at 60k subs. Why not, people? Why not? Big up my brother. Broad's in the cut. I'm hoping he gets back on his channel soon, by the way. He said, early Shaw TV, big up my brother. Nice and early, man. You know what I mean? 5:45 kickoff. It's not quite the new camp. It's not quite the Bernabeu. But Bodo will do, to be fair. I was speaking to a few of the AFTV boys over there, and I see that they met the players in the hotel today, which was good. That is the good thing about going to some of these games in smaller venues. You know what hotel the players are in. They're a lot more kind of open-minded about speaking to fans. Even in America, you know, we're seeing players in the shopping centre and stuff over there, and they're chatting to you, where in England they're kind of a bit distant from you, you know. It's a little bit different. Joel said, big up Curtis Martinelli and Saka, giving me Ozil and Sanchez vibes. Let's hope so. Persian, I can't lie, I'm happy to see the Gunners finally back. It's been years, tired of seeing 2 or 3 teams dominating. I'm enjoying football. I want to see more teams stepping up, 100%. Ascar, any vacancies for new mods? I'm going to add a few new mods because I noticed the other day some of the mods are pretty inactive now and don't tune in that often. So we may change the mods a little bit and I'll add 2 or 3 new ones. Here's Sambi Lakonga, 25 yards out, shoots. And he probably wishes he didn't. 5 or 6 yards wide, people. Broads TV will be back soon. Clip it. Don't let him get away with it. No Salad scored a hat-trick. Yeah, it's a mad one, isn't it? Fastest hat-trick in Champions League history. I'm not being funny, people. Now, listen. Some people say I'm a bit harsh on Sambi Lakonga. Anybody that's watching the game, look at the shooting technique. Look at the way he's just hit that ball. Like, what? Like, I don't understand what I'm watching. Look at the way he's hitting that ball. He's slicing across it. Like, I just don't know. I don't know, people. If I speak, I'll be in big, big trouble, man. I just don't know where I'm at with this guy, Sambi. I'm trying to be patient. Second season, I'm 25 yards out. Did you see the shooting technique? Jeez. I don't know what's going on. I know it might sound like I'm being harsh on him, but damn. But the brother's shooting technique's painful to watch. He looks like he broke his ankle. Oh, Assassin said, Curtis, my most emotional moment as an Arsenal fan was seeing us get slapped at Baku by Chelsea. Was crying for days. I'm so glad that I wasn't doing watch-alongs. I actually started my YouTube channel that day. I did a preview in the car before the game. We lost. And then I had a rant after the game. And that was it. It started from there. My most painful days as an Arsenal fan, that one and Champions League final, Barcelona. Probably the Champions League one was worse, if I'm being honest, because we were never really in that game in Baku. We got slapped up the whole game. Where in the Champions League, we were winning for 70-odd minutes. I thought we were going to win it. There's some tough times, man. There are some tough times, I can't lie. Man saying 18 yards out, not even 25. See, I'm doing him a favour. 8-2. Yeah, 8-2 against United. I actually watched that game next to a friend of mine who was a Man United fan. What do you do? What do you say at that point? You know, I've had this rivalry with United for years. We're sitting there 8-2 down. They're dark days. We don't like to talk about it. Big up Buenos Aires. Gunnar said, dropping in late. Big up Curtis and C Unit. Come on, you Gunners. Big up, bro. That watch along would have been epic. Shirts torn everywhere. I think the laptop would have gone in through the window, I think. Man are saying give Lakonga a break. Listen, I'm trying, you know. I don't want to be too harsh on the brother. But come on, bro. Like, I need to see the new Yaya Toure. The new Yaya Toure, fam. The man understand what Yaya Toure was. To me, Yaya's one of the best centre midfielders I've ever seen in the Premier League. At one point, he was moving like Space Jam. Like, he was taller, quicker, stronger. He had everything. New Yaya Toure where? That's it. New Yaya Toure. New Eric Jemba by what I'm seeing. I don't know what they're telling me, people, but give him time. They say patience is a virtue. Ball over the top. Here's Eddie Nketiah down the right. Tough game so far. We're not getting time and space on the ball. Here's Sambi Lakonga. Gets the ball out wide to Kieran Tierney. Time out now. Here is Reece Nelson. Looks quite sharp there. Whips it in. Flicked on. Odegaard brings it down. He'll be desperate to score in his own country. Finds Saka. We just can't get no time and space on the ball. Yaya Toure was the definition of box-to-box. Unbelievable football player, man. Unbelievable. Man said more like Omar than Yaya. Oh, my days. Man said Omar Yaya, not Yaya Toure. That's unbelievable banter. Harold said, respect BG, yeah, budget, half the price. Vieira. Respect BG, yeah, budget equals half the... Oh, I get you. I get what you're saying. What are we saying here? Kurt gets more people tuning in than Hugh. Wizzy, he meant say, big up Wizzy, man. Big him up. Community's strong, man. Togetherness, people. There's enough cake for everyone, you know. Roman said, Big C, I hope you've thrown your hat into the ring to be our representative on the upcoming Big Six Extra show. You'd be amazing on it. I didn't even know about it, so appreciate you letting me know. Turkish, I'm expecting a message from you, brother. But yeah, why not? Why not, people? Latte, big up my brother. Sambi needs a loan, period. Too slow. Get him that Marseille loan, man. You know what I mean? I feel like that's our club now, innit? We loan everyone to Marseille. Jesus. What is that from Kieran Tierney? He tried to play a through ball. Ended up on the other side of the Arctic Circle. I don't know what that is. Goes out for a goal kick. Damn, this game is not great so far. We have not started the game great. Oz said, weren't you going to do a collab with you? Yeah, we were talking about it. It's just gone quiet. I don't know. We'll try. During the World Cup, definitely a good time to get some collabs going with people. A bit more time. Everything will slow down a little bit. Yemi said, like the vid. Make sure you like the vid, people. 2,000 of you nearly in the chat. Really appreciate it. Great numbers for a Europa League game. Early kickoff. I realise that as many people probably not tuning in for this as we would have got for, Liverpool and Tottenham and the Premier League games. So, yeah, man, I appreciate your support as always, people. Arsenal on the ball. William Saliba, 15 minutes gone. A little bit sluggish so far. Not the easiest of games to play. And I'm telling you, Bodo, they're not giving us time and space on the ball. Here's Lokonga. Play forward. Here we go. Not bad that. Oh, overhits it a little bit. And the keeper comes out and collects it. Their goalkeeper's just sliding all over the floor. So clearly they're not getting grazed. Oh, there we go. Odegaard gets clamped in his own country. Man's the Norway captain. Getting clamped in Norway. And guess what? He's on the floor. And he's mash up. That man don't care. They said, what? Norway captain. Bang! Take that, boy. Roll around. You thought this was a reunion back in Norway, yeah? Man just stood at him. Now what we saying, Mikel, yeah? What we saying now? That's Odegaard. Oi, ay, ay, ay. Studs all over your ankle. Woo. Ay, ay, ay. The guy had a heavy touch, Odegaard. No, he doesn't quite stud him. Looks more like he kicks him, actually. But, you know what I mean? It's a man said he's the Norway punching bag. These men aren't showing him no respect, fam. I'm sure if Haaland was in Norway now, you'd be going easy on him. This is the Norway captain. You man are just kicking him down. What's going on? No respect for him, no? It's all sad, man. It's sad. Leave him alone. Tremaine said, oops, just realised I wasn't sub. Hey, Tremaine, come on. People, you know what? I bet there's a lot of you in the comments. You might not have subscribed. Press that red button. Make sure you're a part of the community. It's free. Support the channel. Let's keep it moving, people. Saw Turkish on James Redmond. Said he had recruited him for Liverpool. We need Big C for the Gooner rep. Make it happen. C Unit getting Turkish mentioned. Hey, man, he's got my number, bro. We talk. So, yeah, let's see what he's saying, man. I'm sure he'll have a plan anyway of what he wants to do and who he wants to try and invite on and stuff, The Congo has been terrific. You're going to have to rewatch the game. I tell you, bro, I will not be rewatching this game. This is another one of them, If you're struggling to get to sleep, throw this on. First, 17 minutes. You ain't going to be wanting to watch the highlights of this. But I'm sure once a goal goes in, it'll open up. NR11, would you want Saliba to play in the World Cup if he hasn't signed a new deal before? It's a great question, that, right? Because on one hand, I think it means so much to these players to play for their country in the World Cup that we look at it from a purely Arsenal point of view. I don't want him to go to the World Cup so that he stays fit and he doesn't play. But you don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on the player. When he comes back, having to watch that. Realistically, Saliba without a new contract, you don't want him playing for France in the World Cup, if we're being totally honest. The ideal scenario would be you sign the new contract and then you go to the World Cup and play and you look like £100 million centre-back, but you've just signed a 6-year contract at Arsenal. That's the dream situation. If Saliba's starting for France and he hasn't signed a new contract, it's a bit of a nightmare, I can't lie, because the eyes of the world are going to be watching him going, hang on, this guy's got 18 months left at Arsenal and he's that good. So it's a fantastic question. Ideally, no contract. Bro, you might have to miss that World Cup, but in reality, Saliba's going to be in the French squad. So maybe he won't be in the team. I would imagine Kimpembe and Varane maybe will be their starting two ahead of Saliba. I'm not saying Saliba's not better than Kimpembe. It's just Deschamps seems to love them too. Big up Michael. Assassin said, Curtis, you need to do a meet and greet when you touch 60k. Be an honour to meet you in person. Listen, bro, 100%. I'm looking to, like I said, I'm looking to get an event, like a Curtis Shaw TV event in London. Try and get a few people down. Kevin Campbell, get Robbie, get a few guys, get some of the community there, and kind of have a little vibes event, you know, something like that. So definitely looking to get that sorted as well. So yeah, it'd be great to meet a lot of the community, man. I don't think there's a player in that Bambi. Sorry to the day. You know what it is? I always think that. I always feel like I can spot a player quickly, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. Sometimes you just watch a player. They don't have to do much, but you can just see something in their game. And I just don't see it yet in Sambi. I hope I do eventually. But at the moment, I don't see it. He looks an average centre midfielder, in my opinion. I really hope he becomes a top player. At the moment, I think he's pretty average at everything. I don't think he's really good at anything in particular. South London's finest, I don't think he starts. I agree. I think Saliba will be on the bench for France, to be honest. Geez, that will be lit. Yeah, Broads, come on. I'm expecting you there as well, but we're definitely going to do that. Yeah, little Shubs thing, man. Not just a standard Q&A and everyone sits down in some tight-up chair. Nah, little vibes, little music, little drink. You know how it goes, people. And just a conversation, man. So, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get it sorted. Big up, Broads, man. Proud of you, man. Come a long way. I appreciate it. You've been a big supporter and a good friend, bro. I appreciate it. Mikel showing off his ball control. I missed it. I didn't even see it. Bodo could be in. Oh, Matt Turner comes out and clears it. We're moving mad. We're moving mad. Cats, I'm your number one fan. Make sure. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Big up, Curtis. Your stream mad. Listening in from Jamaica. Big up, Marsden. Hope you're well, brother. Man said get the polls out. Hey, South London, man trying to corrupt the thing, you know. Little meet and greet. Man saying get the polls out. Yo, man wants to turn it into an Atlanta strip club. It's all mad. It'd be a good night, I can't lie, but, you know, you'd never look at the channel the same way again, you know. Khalid said, Sambi looks sensational. Laurie in 2022. I want to know what brandy he was drinking that afternoon. I really do, because, you know, you should sell them bottles yourself. I don't know what was in his Ray and Nephews or his Hennessy that day, but I don't know what he saw in Sambi, but he saw something. Cormac said Odegaard is moving. Curtis, is Odegaard a bit disappointing overall since he moved? Need more? I think he's good, but I think we need more. I think we can all agree he's a talented footballer. Nobody would say that Martin Odegaard's not a good player. I just think he can do a little bit more for Arsenal, score a bit more, be a bit of more of a goal threat around the edge of the penalty area. I have to admit, Fabio Vieira's hardly touched the ball. I actually forgot he was on the pitch. Just noticed him then. Good tackle there by Odegaard. This game is difficult. They're making this game horrible. Here's Saliba in the corner, 2 players on him. Ben White keeps it in, does really well, actually. We just can't find space. Every time I look up, they've got 2 players on us all over the place. E. Ross said, I'm not even watching the game. Honestly, this is another one of them streams, people. Community's got to carry me through this. This game is... We need a goal. We definitely need a goal. Franklin, listen. Just bear with me here. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's been bad since he's been at Arsenal. I think for 30 million, he's done well. Do you not feel like you can get a little bit more out of him? Do you not think... I've seen him shoot before, and I'm thinking, that's not a bad shot. But does he shoot enough? Is he enough of a goal threat? Does he need to score more goals? Good play there by Saka. Scores! Arsenal take the lead. Bukayo Saka with the goal. And Sambi Lukonga with the assist. I've always rated that Sambi, I'm telling you. Do you know what? He's like a young Yaya Toure, that lad. I've always said it. That's why he wears number 23. You know, Michael Jordan. It's greatness before your eyes, people. Arsenal 1. Bodo Glimt 0. Bukayo Saka with another goal. Big deflection. Good play by Sambi. That's better. Wow, that is the luckiest of goals. He hits it. It deflects back off the defender and then hits... hits Saka hits him in the face, I think, and then goes in. Eros said, of course, when I say I'm not watching the game, they score. It always happens, people. I'm sure Laurie's just popped a bottle of champagne in honour of Sambi Lakonga's assist. So fair play. Big up Eros with the super chat. Saka assisted himself. Man just scoring the ball off his face now, people. That's how good he is. Harsha said Sambi is the only positive on the pitch. Horrendous, says Harsha. Shameless, Curtis. Shameless in 4K. Do you know what? I don't even hide from it, people. In fact, I think I actually embrace it because, you know, it's quite funny, I think. He's like a young Yaya Toure. I've always said it. All right, maybe I haven't, but, you know, we'll keep it moving. It was a good assist. Play with a bit more ambition. And, in fact, I can hear fireworks going off. Is Laurie letting off fireworks for the Sambi Lakonga assist? Cruz right again. Yeah, he said Saka and... who did he say? Saka and... Did he say Eddie or Odegaard? Here's Eddie down the left-hand side. He could be in. The guy behind him looks like he's going to pull his hamstring. Eddie in the penalty area. Look for the pass, bro. Where you running? You're running off the pitch. You'll be in the Arctic Circle. You carry on running. Here's Fabio Vieira, left-hand side of the box. Can we get another goal and end this quickly? Sambi Lakonga, he's pulling strings. Martin Odegaard finds Bukayo Saka. Oh, my days. Wow, he's nearly took the cameraman's head off. That is a stinker of a shot with his right foot. Oh, my days. But, hey, it is what it is, people. Odegaard, little ball into Saka. Wow. He's nearly cut off. We nearly had no camera there to watch the game anymore. That shot went so wide and high. Mikel doesn't look happy. Curl it with your left. Little Thierry Henry in the far corner, man. I'll teach him. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Let's keep it moving, people. We need Lacazette back. We definitely don't. Tarbs. No, Curtis Sambi has been good all game. Why did he have to get an assist for you to acknowledge you having a good game as a defensive? Bro, did you see his shot? Did you see the shot? I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that was a good shot. It was a stinker. Kimani said, the beauty of being shameless is that you lose nothing. Exactly, because you just own it. If you get all... Oh, no. No, don't worry about it, man. Saka, ball across, cleared, corner. Information and entertainment, people. I say it all the time. We just keep it moving, you know. Corner to the Gunners. Shaquille Big C, I need you to teach me that Scouse accent. I bet the gallum in Jamaica would love it. Listen, man, I haven't quite perfected it, you know. I'm not quite prime Steven Gerrard yet, but we move, people. We move. Saka with the goal. Corner to Arsenal. In swinger. Can Saka get another one? Get an assist. Hopefully we go 2 or 3-0 up quickly so we can take a couple off. Ball whipped in. Flicked on. Here's, I was going to say Gabriel. It's Saliba. Here's Kieran Tierney. Stands it up to the back post. That is some proper Sunday League football. Benny with the nutmeg. I didn't even see it. This was mad. I'm not even actually... Because the game's been quite quiet. I'm concentrating on the comments more than the actual game. Saka's offside there. Let's see. Banolo, big up, Big C in the C unit, the best community in the biz. Been a while since I caught a watch along. Good to have you in the comments. Big up everyone tuned in. 2,000 of you tuned in. Really appreciate it. Great numbers for a Europa League game. I think after this, the Europa League will get more exciting when we're playing the likes of PSV. Here's Eddie Nketiah, and he's at it now. What's going on? Are we blaming the AstroTurf? Eddie's just, like, scuffed that on the floor. Like, that's a horrendous shot. And Saka nearly ended the whole show. I mean, what kind of shot is that? I mean, they're going to have to all blame the pitch. That's the only way they can get through this. Blame the pitch. Because these, man, it's got to be. They're shooting mad. Oh, Bodo are in. Oh, and they can't shoot either. He was one-on-one with a goalkeeper. Was he offside? What are we watching? Who just said, what are we watching? I don't know what we're watching. One-on-one with a goalkeeper, Bodo, just as I look up. Oh, my... Yo, the shooting. The shooting techniques are horrendous. No one can shoot. Pellegrino, I mean, he's put that... No lies, put that 15 yards wide. All he's got to do is open up and do a little Thierry Henry. I got to tweet it. Is it the pitch? Because No one seems to be able to shoot. It's mad, people. I don't know what's going on. The pitch must be playing a part. The shooting techniques are horrible. Was he offside there or not? I don't understand. 100k worth every penny. That's what 100k gets you, mate. Scuff it towards the corner flag. Man said 1-star weak foot. So I'm telling you now, this game is going down in the history books. It's an absolute stinker. 4G sucks when it's wet. New Wave said, so that's why I couldn't score at Pro. 5-a-side. It's the weather. It's the turf. Eddie, 100k a week, number 14. Prayers to the Lord. Jesus don't get injured. That's what we're relying on if Jesus gets an injury, people. It's all mad. Saka's been booked. I genuinely need to watch the game. I'm hardly concentrating, but yeah, number 14. Looks like a restaurant behind a goal. It's like there's like people standing in the windows, like there's a little viewing area. They're probably having a little meal, just watching the game. It's a crazy ground. 8,500. Horrendous is right. The shots are awful. I don't know. I don't understand why no one can shoot. Here come Arsenal. Kieran Tierney, left-hand side. Plays it down the line into Reece Nelson. Tries a little trick. Loses the ball there. He's got to look after the ball. Eat more than that. It's too easy. Way too easy. Eddie is too arrogant and greedy. Listen, I think Eddie is so desperate to impress. If you notice with Eddie, right, he doesn't pass the ball that often. Every time he gets it, he's like he's looking to shoot no matter what. Because I think he's just thinking, I have to score to put pressure on Jesus. Where I think sometimes you've just got to relax, man. You've just got to relax. I thought they were a block of flats behind the goal. It's a bad game in terms of quality, I tell you that much. You're not missing much. Remember the days you hardly reached 500 viewers, now we're pushing 2k. Yeah, man, even the Liverpool game, we got to 4k at one stage. So, listen, all about progress, people. And listen, as always, I big up the community for the support. The channel's nothing without the community, you know. Ryan, hey, polymation, man. Those long balls into our defence seem to be an issue. I think the pitch will play a part. I know I've said it time and time again, but it will definitely play a part. Assassin said, Curtis, 2 players I want us to bring to get the title, Bellingham and Rafael Leao. 250 million, probably. 200 million for those two. I can't see Arsenal dropping that. I don't think we get Bellingham. He'll go Madrid or Liverpool or City, I think. Odegaard, ball out wide, looking for Tierney. Flicked away. Should bounce out corner to Arsenal, left-hand side. The community loves the channel. Big up, Kenyan Goon. I appreciate it, bro. Kimani said, these are the games where certain players need to want to play in the first team and get up to speed. These are games where if you're Holding, if you're Lokonga, if you're Vieira, if you're Nketiah or you're Nelson, you've got to do something. You've got to show the manager that I should be in this team. And now it's not always easy. Here's Odegaard, whips it to the back post. Cleared away, comes out to Saka. Probably should have hit it. Gives it to Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Move the ball. Oh, come on. Saliba gets it back in. Oh, man, I'm telling you. Anybody that's not watching this game and you're purely tuned into the watch along, you're not missing much. I saw a few of you at the start saying, do you have a stream? If you didn't get a stream, you might have done yourself a favour. It's not a great game. Timestamp said, Curtis is non-Arsenal fans part of the community. Listen, we're all together in this, man. It's a football community. Predominantly Arsenal, but it's a football community, people. Like South London's finally said, best community on YouTube by far. Appreciate it, bro. Really appreciate it. MO7, man, I'm falling asleep, bro. Serious, like, it's, I'm looking forward to half time. I can't lie, people. Here come Bodo, right-hand side. They've played decent. Ball whipped in. Matt Turner collects it at the near post. And Arsenal retain possession. Eddie has Cristiano Ronaldo's attitude with Yaya Sanogo's ability. Oh, my days. You said it, not me. Do I disagree? Well, listen, if Gabriel Jesus gets injured, no, I don't know what to say. I got no words. You might have to play Martinelli up front or something. I don't know. It is like watching an actual training session, this. Smokey, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, man scored a free kick on FIFA 23 with Xhaka. I pressed a random celebration and Granite was getting sturdy. Can you imagine if he did that? It's all mad, people. I haven't scored one goal on, one free kick, sorry, on FIFA yet. It's a mad one. Anyone got FIFA 23? I haven't scored one free kick on there yet. Floyd said, how much, Big C, how much of the Don inspired you to make a YouTube channel? Listen, Robbie's been a quality friend to me, and we've had a lot of long conversations about YouTube. And you know, I always say, listen, if you're around people who are successful, try and absorb everything. Listen to what they're saying. Look at what they've done to make things work. I actually think in life you can learn off successful and unsuccessful people. You look at what unsuccessful people do and you do something different. But listen, Robbie's a top guy. He's give lots of great advice. He's always been a good support to me. And yeah, man, I give him nothing but positive things to say about him, man. He's been top notch for me in the growth of my channel, to be fair. Always been supportive. And he said this game is stinking up the place. Bro, I can't wait for this game to finish already. I genuinely can't. Don Robbie is a GOAT, 100%. He's opened so many doors for a lot of the channels that are on YouTube today. There's just no doubt about it. Curtis, have you considered perhaps a weekly show covering the teams and games on the weekend? Definitely something I've been thinking about. Monday, like a Monday morning, or I want to cover like all of the Premier League as well. So yeah, definitely already been thinking about that. Covering like the general Premier League, like a match of the day of the weekend, you know. Were you friends with Robbie before YouTube? I was actually. Before I had my channel, obviously when I used to see him at Arsenal games and stuff, we used to speak and stuff like that. So yeah, I knew him a few years before like I started going on AFTV and stuff like that. Such a boring game, yeah, not great at all. Hardy said, Curtis, thanks for keeping your show always family friendly, unlike others. Appreciate it. Yeah, listen, it's something with me. I'm just one of these people. I don't like swearing. I genuinely don't. And yeah, you know, when you're a father as well, I think it's a bad habit to do around your kids, and I just, even when I come on here and I go crazy, I don't really swear. But it helps with your channel as well, because YouTube will promote it to more people when you don't. So yeah, let's see anyway. Family podcast would be sick if you did something like the Big Six. I mean, listen, I just want to do maybe like me and someone else on like a Monday. We review the show and do like a match of the day format kind of thing, you know. FIFA 23 just packed CR7. Tradable, was going to sell him, but this guy banging in goals. I noticed he's nowhere near as expensive this year as well, CR7. And they gave him a big pace downgrade as well, which is a shame, man. Albert said Robbie and Curtis got a Jamaica connection. Yeah, man, 100%. Hopefully there'll be an AFTV Jamaica tour next summer. I know Robbie's looking at getting it done as well. Christian said, my daughter asked if that was grass or did they paint the parking lot. They're playing like they're in the parking lot, I'm telling you that. 7 minutes till half-time. I actually can't wait for half-time. But here's Saka, right-hand side. Every time we're on the run, 2-3 players around the ball. They're just getting players around the ball constantly. And making life difficult. Big C saw a report. Bodo requested their fans not to wear Arsenal shirts because a lot of them are Arsenal fans as their second club. That's interesting. That is interesting. Hey, big up, Francesca. I still got to get back to you. Apologies. I know you're promoting some good merch, and go and follow her on Twitter. Does some great drawings and some good merchandise. I'm going to get a T-shirt off her and promote it on the channel. Sambi loses the ball, edge of the box. Bodo. Can they get a shot off? Oh, great ball over the top. Oh, Matt Turner does well. Couldn't quite reach it. That Monday show would be epic. 100%, 100%. Curtis and Fran, the new Saint and Greavesy. That would be a good one. Me and Fran definitely could look at that. 6 minutes till half-time, people. Bodo clearly, to me, know how to play this pitch better than us. I think that is is the issue at the moment, man. I think I do think we're struggling with the speed of the pitch, and they're getting around us. Fabio Vieira, good ball out wide. He hasn't been in the game enough for me. In the last game, he was consistently on the ball. Not as much this time. Here's Saka, right-hand side. Whips it in. It's blocked. Goes out for a corner to Arsenal. Big C, we're so bored. Just give us a poll. We'll do a half-time poll. We'll do something. Cool bus driver, I nominate Broads as co-host. He's always welcome, man. 100%. Fabio needs to play the 10. He's playing a bit deeper, isn't he? Saka got the goal. It's harder to raise your levels when the opposition have much less quality, 100%. A lot of these players will be playing thinking, I don't want to get injured. The World Cup's around the corner, you know. They may be going through the motion. What is that building at the back of the goal? Like, there's a big staircase. Are they flats? Are they restaurants? What is it? What's your proudest career moment? Probably, I got a few. I enjoyed playing at Hillsborough. Big stadium, big crowd. Really enjoyed playing there. Enjoyed playing at Nottingham Forest Ground, hometown club. Representing Jamaica at youth level. Those kind of moments there, you know, they stick with you, you know, throughout the years. It's an EastEnders set. You're going to see Phil Mitchell come out the back of it soon. Listen, it won't be. I bet they're expensive flats, you know, because the AFTV boys were saying that it's expensive over there in Norway, saying it's like £10 for a pint of beer and £15 for a burger and stuff. So imagine how much a flat would be overlooking, you know, a football stadium like that. Broads, you know, I'm talking about doing a Monday show, sort of reviewing the whole weekend. In the Premier League and saying, you know, I'm going to need a co-host or two. And they're saying, get you and Fran on. So, yeah, we can do something. Ball over the top. Matt Turner comes out. He shin pads that one away, I think. And Arsenal retain possession. Ben White goes back to Matt Turner. Plays it away nicely. Listen, the positives. Let's talk about the positives, right? Saka scored. Sambi got the assist. And at the moment, no injuries. That's the positive. Win this game, get no injuries. That's all I want. That's all I want, people. Harold said, no, you played for Jamaica. Didn't know that. Nice. Yeah, youth level. Train with the national team as well at 16. Yeah, man. Get Broads on here. Top guy. Listen, Broads knows he's always welcome to come on, man. 100%. Bodo Glimt on the attack. Great ball. Good header away there by Rob Holding. Excellent clearance. It's a terrible game to watch, honestly. I don't know if it's so bad. They're clearly struggling to play on this surface. It's horrible to watch. We look uncomfortable when we're passing the ball is the only way I could say it. Sheets of Metal, of someone who has a different opinion from you, another Premier League podcaster, do you like arguing? We like debating, you know. It doesn't have to be an argument, but a quality debate is always a good thing, I think, in football. Makes for entertainment, keeps it a bit, you know, a bit different. Very little positive, says Mo. Listen, all I'm saying, people, you don't need to watch the highlights. It's been a stinker. Playing international and playing at Football Heritage, but I must say playing against Hackney Wick is the best. That's where it is, man. Hackney Marshes, that's where the real heritage is. That's where it starts, you know. But it is what it is. Tiny Lou, thank you for the super chat. Monday lunchtime special. KFC. Kevin, Fran and Curtis. That's not a bad shout, Tiny Lou, you know. 10% I'll give you on that. Can I get Kev on every week? He's very busy at the moment. I know he's getting a lot of work this season. Big up, Kev. But yeah, that would be a good idea, man. Come on, he said, I remember watching your Luton Town interview for the call-up. Yeah, man. Dominica, that was, when I went to Dominica. Nelson selling dreams. How was that not a foul, by the way? Clattered him. I played a game at Hackney Marsh last week. Hey, big up, man. Big up. That's the real nitty-gritty football, you know. Paul said, Big C, how are we doing with Mikel Arteta in or out? I always say, remember the name Mikel Arteta, he would come good. We forgive you, Big C. Just come aboard quick. Just 2 seats empty, yours and Lee. Gotta listen. I think, what am I going to say? How am I going to word this? Arteta is improving. There's no doubt about it. He's always got my support because he's the Arsenal manager and I want the best for the club. If he does well, we do well and we're happy. I think every Arsenal fan, in my opinion, had the right to question his management when we were finishing 8th in the league and losing Europa League semi-finals to Villarreal, you know. However, what we're seeing now is fantastic. Now, maybe I was impatient, but I felt I had every right to complain. And now, hopefully, we're seeing the fruits of our labour and we're going to see the success this year. So, Paul, listen, I'm Arteta in. Of course, I'm Arteta in, because if he does well, Arsenal do well. But what I'm saying is, complete the mission. You know, you used to play Grand Theft Auto. You go on a mission and you finish the mission, you drive back, and then they give you the money. The mission is not complete yet. I'm not trying to dampen what we're doing in the Premier League right now. It's 9 games, people. It's 9 games. We play 38. We're not even close to being halfway yet. There's a World Cup in the middle of the season. So I love what we're doing. Long may it continue. Complete the mission, then they pay you out. Grand Theft Auto settings, people. The mission is not complete yet. Long may this good form continue, and I hope we can continue staying top. You know, I was there at Fulham. 5-1 was it? Lacazette, Aubameyang. We've got our Arsenal back. We thought top 4 was in the bag. You know, next minute, we bottled top 4, bottled Europa League. Everyone wanted Emery out. So there's a long way to go, but I'm enjoying what's happening. But trust me, that squad is not... There's not enough depth there at all. You have to get another player in midfield and in that attack. Because I'm telling you now, a Gabriel Jesus, a Thomas Partey injury, and there's a real problem. But yeah, things are looking up. You should do a Curtis Shaw Extra channel, Clips channel on the way, people. During the World Cup, we're going to launch that. Can see the World Cup playing a big part, 100%. You know there's going to be players who get injured for some of the clubs around the world. Half-time whistle goes. I'm actually delighted that half-time whistle has gone. Absolute snorefest of a first half. Snorefest, people. When Arsenal do well, we are happy. No man is bigger than the club. Yeah, exactly, that's it, man. Listen, we've seen Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, top players leave this club. Arsene Wenger, you know, the biggest, best manager of our generation in terms of Arsenal. So I just don't get too caught up in players and managers. I don't. I just want the club to be good and successful. So Emery got sacked for less, by the way, guys, so it's not even mad. We question things 100%, you know, 100%. Emery finished 5th. They wanted him out. So I was never going to sit there in 8th and say, trust the process. I said, nah, this ain't good enough. He better fix up quick or he's got to go. Well, ultimately, he's fixing up, you know. AJ said, I don't see it with Lokonga either. When you compare Guendouzi, was the right decision to shift Doozy, but don't see it with Sambi. Listen, Sambi has actually done okay in that half, got a good assist. Ultimately, we're playing against inferior opposition. Having watched Guendouzi, every time I watched him play, my opinion was, this lad's got something. You can just see it. I don't know if he's going to be a world beater. I don't know if he gets to the top of the game. He does have some flaws in his game, but he's got something, and you can see it. And that's why he's in the French squad. That's why, you know, Marseille have tied him to a long-term contract. He's got something about him. With Lokonga, I've never seen him get a grip of a game. I've never seen him boss a game for us, a big game, a Premier League game. Yeah, he looks decent today, but I need to see more from him. I need to see more. If he's in this position at the end of this season, I think he has to go on loan and learn and understand what it takes to be a top player at Arsenal. You look at Nicolas Pepe, and Nicolas Pepe, for me, has far more ability than Sambi Lokonga. Pepe, I don't think, had the mindset. I don't think he had the hunger. I've said many times, you look at the best wingers in the Premier League, they're the wingers that want to rip their fullback apart. Son, Mahrez, Mane when he was here, Sterling, Saka, Martinelli. They drive. They're trying to rip their left and right back to pieces. With Pepe, he goes through the motions. Swing my hips, pass it back. Doesn't drive. There's not enough drive, determination. Even with Guendouzi in midfield, he used to get the ball, drive, give me the ball. He wanted the ball constantly. With Sambi, I still feel like he's a bit shy and he's a bit like, well, I'll have the ball a bit. I'll pass backwards. Sometimes I'll play forwards. He almost needs to come out of his shell a little bit. For me at the moment, I'm not going to cap. I don't think he's the level. Can he become the level? Of course, in time, hopefully. But how long do you wait? How many years do you give him before you say, okay, now he's at the level? We paid nearly £20 million for him. Big up Harry for becoming a member on the channel. Really appreciate that. Next member stream will be next week, by the way. So look out for that. We'll do it probably early in the week. So I hope to see a lot of you on the member stream again. Haroon said he doesn't have the right mindset. Sheets of Metal, thank you for the super chat. Wenger said we are the second best in the Prem to Man City. At the moment, we're the best, But are we the second best team in the Prem? Listen, at the moment, if we got second, it would be a good season. Let's be real. It would be a good season. Deep down, every Arsenal fan's got that little dream that we can win the title. But I just don't believe we've quite got enough in this squad. I think we're still a year or two off that kind of level. As I've said before, I think they've got way more. They've got way more match winners than we've got, in my opinion. They've also got Pep Guardiola, which helps. Christian said, what are three of your favourite Arsenal moments? Three of my favourite Arsenal moments. Listen, there's been loads, but the ones that are just springing to my mind right now, right? I'm just thinking of games that I've been at. I remember Burnley at home, which you'll think, Burnley at home, one of your favourite moments. Do you remember when Alexis Sanchez, penalty, 90th minute, chips it straight down the middle against Burnley to win us the game? I remember being at that game thinking, this game is shocking. Burnley have stunk out the place. Alexis chips a penalty last minute. I mean, there ain't a roof at the Emirates, but the roof nearly came off. The next time was Cesc Fabregas against Tottenham. When we just scored, they kicked off and he wins the ball back, runs from the halfway line and scores. When I say scenes, I mean scenes inside the Emirates. Probably the biggest scene I've ever seen inside the Emirates in terms of goal celebration is Danny Welbeck, Leicester. Honestly, the feeling I had coming out of that stadium that day, I've never had since we've played at the Emirates. Ozil free kick, Welbeck header. I thought we'd won the title. I thought we were winning the league. Genuinely left that stadium thinking, we have just won the Premier League. Everyone's saying Leicester's going to win it. We beat them away and we beat them at home last minute. 1-0 down. Jamie Vardy dived for a penalty. I thought we won the title that day. And then Giroud went 15 games without scoring. And the rest is history, people. But there's way more moments. But they're just three that pop in my head quickly. Ali said, Big C, I get depressed whenever I see Lokonga play. Forget his loan. He's nowhere near good enough. He ain't young. He's 23 already. I mean, I'm trying to be nice by saying give him more time and blah, blah, blah. But right now, he's not good enough. Let's be honest, he's not good enough at this moment. Right, let's just say it as it is. That's the beauty of this channel. We say it as it is. At this moment in time, Sambi Lokonga is not going to take this Arsenal team to any great heights, right? He's probably not even as good as El Neni. I'm being serious. Like, is he better than El Neni? That's the question I'm asking. And I don't even rate El Neni. I don't think El Neni's good enough for Arsenal. But I don't even think Lokonga's better than El Neni. I'm being serious. I've seen El Neni go to Old Trafford and hunt down like Bruno and them, man. I don't see it. I don't see it. But listen, hopefully I'm proved wrong. Big up Ali, man. Big up. Big up penalty spot in the chat. Hope you're well, brother. El Neni would crush Bodo. Sambi. Let's see what people are saying. Dio said, I remember that Cesc goal. Bear in mind, Cesc was one of the slower players. Oh, what a player, man. Cesc was special. I don't care. Curtis, were you at the Emirates when we beat Pep's prime Barca? I wasn't at that game. I wasn't. Anthony said, best I've ever been to. What a game. Arshavin! Unbelievable. You know what? I actually always thought Arshavin was going to be like a world beater at Arsenal. When he first came in, I was like, this guy's sick. Low centre of gravity, strong. Could finish, could shoot from distance. It was mad, people. John said the same thing. Yeah, I wish I was at that game, man. I never got a ticket for that game. Them times there, I didn't have a season ticket, so it was very hard for me to get them tickets them times. Roman said, I quit a job to go watch that Tottenham game. Big up Cess for making it worth it. Damn, man quit his job, you know. Arshavin was amazing. I don't know what happened to him. He just seemed to go downhill quick. Tavares has more potential than Sambi. Average Bedroom Producer said, it's not personal. We need to be critical of our squad and see what needs improving. And I agree with that. I always say to people sometimes, yeah, if you are constructive with your criticism, I'm not here saying he's terrible, he's rubbish, he's... No, I'm not saying that. We have to be aware of our own faults, you know, what we're good at and what we're not good at. We need a midfielder. We signed him for nearly 20 mil to be a sufficient backup player. He's not good enough as of yet. Now, it might be good enough in 6 months, but at what cost? You know, you need someone now to come in. If Xhaka or Partey are injured, who comes in and replaces those two? The level drops sufficiently. And that's the problem for me. That is the problem. But anyway, it is what it is. David said that's why we want a Douglas Luiz. Sashin said the only way is up. Family Podcast says we all know if El Neni was fit, Lokonga wouldn't be playing. Strong words, and I have to say, I think he would be ahead of him in the pecking order. Christian said squad depth has to go up. We should have steady vets or guys who will push the first team. Always support the boys. Some haven't taken their chance. Great point. What you do, you lift the level up from underneath. Push it up. And then eventually what happens, some of the players who are in your starting lineup, they become your squad players. And then you're looking at your squad going, damn, we got Fabio Vieira, we got Smith Rowe, we got maybe a Douglas Luiz, we got a Trossard or a Mudryk or whoever. And you look on your bench and you go, damn, we got 4 or 5 players there that could start. And that's what needs to happen with this team. Kante on a free, anyone? I mean, listen, I think financially the club won't go for it, but you can see that we definitely need to improve the squad level, you know? Evan said, how about Sambi's goal in Orlando after being subbed on? Great header. Pre-season friendly, bro. Seen us beat Bayern Munich, PSG in pre-seasons before, and then go and play Bayern in the Champions League, lose 5-1. Pre-season. Good goal, but pre-season. Kamani said, facts, Curtis. We have to be critical to raise the standard. Pep isn't lowering his standard, and he's the current blueprint. Absolutely spot on. Aspire for more. Aspire to be better. We now need to start aiming for Manchester City. Aim for Man City. We might not get there for 6 months, a year, 18 months, 2 years. We might not even get there until Pep leaves. But aim for Man City. That's got to be the benchmark if this football club is ever going to be at the top again. You can't go, well, he's not a bad player, so we'll just accept him and give him time. Because the problem is, if you have 4 or 5, 6 of those players, you can't reach that level. You can't get there. These men have got top players on the bench. Now, I know they've got more money to spend and it's different. But you look throughout the years, look at Arsene Wenger years. You know, Wiltord, Carnu, Edu, Ray Parlour on the bench. Top players, game changers. You've got to bring on quality. It's got to be like for like. You can't say, Jesus, you can't be in a game and say, right, we're taking off Gabriel Jesus. He's not quite at it today. Manchester City away. We'll take Jesus off, give him a rest, and we'll bring on Eddie Nketiah. The drop's too big. Oh, Thomas Partey looks tired. Take him off. Let's bring on Sambi Lokonga. It's a drop. You're falling off a cliff. You know, you're falling off a cliff. If you take out Saka and you put Marquinhos in, the drop's too big. You take out Martinelli, put Nelson in, the drop's too big. Get those squad players closer to the starting lineup. You lift the level of the whole football club, because then those players that are in the starting lineup, they're looking over their shoulder. Saka knows if he's fit, he's playing. If he's fit, he plays, because there's no competition for him. And that's not good at a big football club. Thomas Partey knows if he's fit, he plays. Jesus the same. If I'm fit, I'm playing. There's no competition that's near my level. The best clubs have strong competition for places, people. And that's what we've got to aspire to be. This isn't me ripping the team to bits. I'm saying we're trying to push this level up. We're trying to push this football club as high as possible. And to do that, the squad depth has to be even stronger. So you've got to get players on the bench that are similar to the ones who are starting. It's not easy, but that's what you have to do. Adam said Curtis is preaching. I mean, listen, not everyone agrees. That's the beauty of the channel and opinion. Somebody just said in their opinion there, you're criticising our players. But what? Are players not there to be praised and criticised? It's the reality of football, people. That is the reality of football. As long as you are constructive with it. I'm not here, dissing a player. I'm saying players need to improve quickly or they're going to get found out, and we can't afford that. We need top quality players. Elliot said, truth, Curtis Sambi is not it. In fact, we need to aim to be better than competitive to Xhaka and Partey. Exactly. Granted, Xhaka's having his best season at Arsenal, right? So far, 9 games in. I've still got no problem with Arsenal signing a midfielder that's better than him. I've got no problem with that because that creates great competition then. Or at least somebody that's similar and you go, all right, you're going to have a real battle for that spot now. That's what you want. No full-time breakdown needed with Laurie and Fran after this. Probably put Fran to sleep earlier than early. Yeah, he's probably been asleep about half an hour anyway. Yeah, we won't have a lot of an after-game review. I'm going to be honest, people. The game's been a stinker so far. I will be on at 2 p.m. We'll do player ratings and a few other bits. And obviously, we'll start looking ahead to the Leeds game. Sheets of Metal said, I hate how Ashley Cole, Seth, Giroud, Van Persie, Adebayo and Sanchez left. We played good football. Wenger in the latter years lost the dressing room. The problem is when you have a player at a supreme level, which Ashley Cole was at, which Cesc was at, not Giroud, Van Persie, Sanchez, they then need to see success and ambition because, Ashley Cole was probably the best left back in the world at the time. Cesc, one of the best centre mids. Sanchez was unbelievable, one of the best wingers. They wanted trophies. They wanted to push that next level. Watch along for Man City on Sunday. Yeah, we're doing a double watch along on Sunday, people. Second half about to kick off and we are underway, people. So on Sunday, we will be doing Leeds against Arsenal, short break, and then we'll be doing the Liverpool-Manchester City game. So double watch along on Sunday, Super Sunday in full effect. And looking forward to it. Big games. Arsenal need to collect 3 points at Leeds. It'll be a tricky game, but I expect us to win. And then Liverpool against Man City will be an absolute cracker. Champions League will be back to them next week. In fact, there's no Champions League next week. It's Premier League midweek. Roman said, Curtis, did you ever meet Ricardo Fuller? Remember hearing he didn't like football? Yeah, met him a few times. Used to train in Diamond Earrings. Trained with him in Jamaica. He was a good guy, man. Good guy. Did well at Stoke. Abdul said, hey, Curtis, I'm coming from Canada to watch Arsenal v PSV. Can you help me find 2 tickets? Hit me up on Twitter. DMs are open. I haven't heard, but I'm pretty sure there'll be tickets for that. I'm pretty sure there'll be tickets for PSV at home, 100%. Broad said, I'm going to make a wild statement. Giroud was world-class. A world-class target man, just needed the right players around him. He's already changed his game, and look what he's won. I agree. But I always said with Arsenal, the way we played didn't suit a target man, didn't get the best out of a target man. You got Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil wants a runner. He wants a guy that's going to... We probably needed Aubameyang 2 years earlier. Giroud is a top quality target, man. There's no doubt. You get the ball wide, put crosses in, get the ball into him, hold up play. He's elite. He's one of the best in the world. After, you're putting him in there with your Zlatans and that. Zlatan, obviously, higher level. But Giroud is one of the best hold-up strikers in world football over the past 5 to 7 years. But we had Theo Walcott on one wing, who wasn't great in terms of delivering those crosses. He was more of a goal-scoring winger. And you had Sanchez, who was a goal-scoring winger. So Giroud and us, I don't think it was ever the perfect combination. I think we needed a runner more than a target man. But I definitely rated him. You look at his trophy cabinet. He's got pretty much everything in there. But listen, let's not forget he went 15 games without scoring a goal. He wasn't world class when he was at Arsenal, at times anyway. Michael said, Curtis, do you think Pep would be able to do what Wenger did, get in top 4 consistently with no backing? Probably not. Oh my days. Now Reece Nelson's shot has nearly hit the corner flag. I'm telling you, it's got to be the pitch. Like Claude would say, that lamppost. Yeah, let's not forget at times man was moving like a lamppost still. He missed a lot of chances for Arsenal, big chances. Remember Monaco at home, Champions League. He missed about 5 clear-cut chances, man. He was part of that great goal against Norwich. Yeah, what a goal. What a goal. Nelson, man said it's the pitch, Curtis. Kevin Campbell settings. It's definitely got to be the pitch because no Arsenal player seems to be able to shoot. Tucky said you need 2 top players in every position. That's what wins you titles. I agree. Can we smash the likes, people? In fact, my phone is over there. Let me check. What are we on? What's the likes count, people? What are we on? There's over 2,000 of you in the chat. Great support as always. Really appreciate it. Let's see what we're on for likes. Can we get 1,500 likes? Should be light work. We're on 800, so it's a good start. We're over halfway. That almost went for a corner. Do you think Benjamin White will make it to the World Cup? I'm not sure. I don't think this manager, Southgate, is in a desperate rush to pick him. Let's put it that way. Because he's playing at right back might be going against him. Curtis would drop the League Cup and FA Cup to ensure Champions League. Yeah, I would. I'd miss both of them. Nate said, I miss your super chat. Let me go back, bro. I thought I read one out unless I missed another one. There we go. Some of us don't want to hear the truth. Listen, the truth will set you free, people. Sometimes the truth is painful, but the truth will set you free. Lift the level of the squad, and this team is cooking. If you rely on 12, 13 players, and the rest of them are just there to make up the numbers, ultimately, you get caught out at some stage. Arsenal are a team that over the years have been very unlucky with injuries. So what you don't want to do is be sitting there going, 13 players that are of high level, and the other 5 are just making the numbers. Well, the problem is you end up with 4 or 5 injuries. Some of them man are in the team and they're not good enough when you're going Man City away. You're going Liverpool away. You're going Tottenham away. You're going Chelsea away. And you've got Europa League. Now you might get Barcelona in the Europa League on a Thursday, and then you got Man City on the weekend, and your squad players are starting. So listen, I know it's not easy. It's expensive. The club are going to have to back the manager. They've got to get 2 players in January for me, minimum. I want to break free. Kieran said, this game has been dry, but I think Ben White has been solid this season, 100%. After Saliba, he's been our best defender this season. There's no doubt. All the other England right-backs are injured. I mean, Trent's out for 2 weeks, and he's been in horrendous form. Kyle Walker's injured. He's in a race to get back to be fit for the World Cup. So what right backs? Obviously Reece James. Reece James probably start at the World Cup. Trippier's having a good season. He's got a lot of fantasy points this year, and he likes him as well because he can play wing back and full back. So he'd probably take those 2 as the 2 right backs. Reece is only out for 10 days. Yeah, we're 2 injuries away from finishing 5th. Let that sink in. You know, Partey and Jesus, and we don't get top 4. And that's the reality. Harsh reality as well. Let's just hope. Them man stay fit for 90% plus of the season. That's what we need. Reece James got injured yesterday. Oh, yeah, but apparently not long. Here come Bodo on the attack. They're 3-on-3 here. Pellegrino, good save, Matt Turner. Tried to open up his body there. Little Thierry on refinish. Get strong hands on it. Good save there. I hope this game livens up a bit because this could be a sleep along. I could be asleep. So easy to open us up. He's in as well. He's onside. We look kind of open at the back. Paul said, easy to say, but some of the names you want will not come unless they play every game. First 11, this is what you lot can't see. Listen, I get what you're saying, but look at the other top clubs around us, right? Just as an example, I mean, Chelsea got players like Ziyech and players like that on the bench, you know. Kante's been on the bench. You look at Spurs, they've had Basuma on the bench, a player that every Arsenal fan pretty much wanted us to sign him. He can't get a game. Man United at times have had, you know, Sancho on the bench, Ronaldo on the bench. These are teams that we're competing with. Liverpool at the weekend had Jota on the bench. Firmino's one of the most informed strikers in the Prem. On the bench. This ain't even including Man City yet, who are the richest club. So if the teams around us have got players of that level on the bench, that's what we've got to aim for as well. We got to have 3 or 4 top quality players on the bench. It's not easy, but when you're a big club and you pay big money and you're doing well, players will come to you. Tielemans would come to Arsenal and fight for his place, in my opinion. Douglas Luiz would, and I think we can get even better if we get in the Champions League. Family Podcast. Big C, do you think it's weird that only 4 or 5 Premier League teams have a first-team English goalkeeper? I mean, I think ultimately it's a position that maybe England don't produce. You look over the last 10, 15, 20 years, how many top quality English goalkeepers have there really been? I don't think there've been that many. David Seaman was good. Joe Hart had a good spell. But Pep came in and binned him straight away. Said he wasn't a modern goalkeeper. Pickford is okay. He's better for England than he is for Everton, but he ain't a top quality keeper. So I just don't think England produced that many good goalkeepers, which is interesting. Can't understand how people do not understand it's a squad game. I don't see it. People have to understand that thought process that we can't rely on having a good team. I think every Arsenal fan says, all right, our team looks good at the moment. You've got to have more quality in reserve or catch up with you. Corner to Arsenal. Deep to the back post, flicked on, and it goes out for a goal kick. It's a stinker of a game. Joe, thank you for the super chat. Would you take Busquets or Kante? They're both free. Busquets was elite a few years ago. He's not the quickest. I think he's being linked with a move to the MLS. Kante would not be, like I said in the stream, people, if you could get him for a year, I wouldn't be totally against it, but I just don't think Arsenal would go for it. I do think sometimes those short-term deals can work. You look at Thiago Silva at Chelsea. He's been a fantastic signing. Zlatan did all right at United for the year. Obviously, on the flip side of it, you can end up with a Willian where it's horrendous and it's a nightmare. Kieran Tierney shoots 15 yards wide. Nobody can shoot. It's crazy. But Joe, thank you for the super chat. Shibe said, yo, Curtly just reached. Yeah, all good. And the gang. Big up everyone tuned in. 2,000 plus on YouTube and nearly 50 on Twitch. Big up to the C Unit. Really appreciate your support. Granite said, this game is boring, Curtis. I had to order some Uber Eats chicken wings to the bench. Hope Mikel doesn't put me on because I don't want stomach cramp. Oh, what an account this is, man. Bodo on the attack. Edge of the penalty area. Just over the bar. They are creating chances. We got to be careful, people. Let me tell you why we've got to be careful. Because if you finish second in the Europa League group, you can get a team that has just dropped out of the Champions League in the next round. If we were to lose this game or draw, bear in mind that we play PSV home and away. If we were to, we got to be careful. This needs to be a win. You need to take 6 off Zurich, 6 off Bodo. That gets you 12. Get 3 or 4 off PSV and you'll be good to go. But Bodo are getting chances against us here. Very easy. This is one of the worst games I've ever watched, says No More Champagne. I'm not even sure it's that good. I'm struggling to stay awake here. Barca or Juve, I'd rather play Juve. Really think they've gone downhill. Barca would still trouble us. They're top of La Liga. I know everyone's saying they're finished, but I think they've still got something. Front three of Lewandowski, Dembele and Rafinha can still cause you problems. Jussad said, people are forgetting we had 4 first-team strikers when we were doing the double under Wenger, Omri, Bergkamp, Wiltord, Carnu. Competition is always needed. 100% people. El Chapa said, Big C, what are your thoughts on Turner so far? He's looked decent today. Last couple of games he's done well. Let me give him credit. I criticised him when he first signed for the club and I saw him. He looked poor, but he's looked decent. He's looked okay. I still don't think, oh, here come Bodo. What a chance. Put it over the bar. I can barely watch. I have to turn away from the screen, and every time I look up, they're getting a chance. They're opening us up. Ball over the top, in between Holding and Tierney, should score. 8 yards out, great chest down. How has he missed the target there? That is a clear-cut opportunity. Opened us up. Their manager's slapping the floor. It's crazy. Oh, someone said he's Ramsey. Yeah, he's at Nice with Pepe and Ross Barkley and Kasper Schmeichel. He was at Rangers on loan. He's gone to Nice now. AS45, Big C, would you be okay with the current Man City squad going unbeaten if it guaranteed Arsenal second place? No, I wouldn't. No, I would not. They can't go unbeaten. That needs to be our record. We'll get top 4 even if they don't go unbeaten. Granit Xhaka comes on. So he is going to get stomach cramp, according to the Xhaka in the comments. And Saka comes off. Good to see Saka off. It's hammering down with rain. Fabio Vieira comes off. Is he off or is he going left wing? I don't understand what's going on. Oh. No. No. I don't like what I'm seeing. I can't look. I can't look. No. Oh, no. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's a plastic pitch. It's raining. They're putting tackles in everywhere. And Martinelli's coming on in the 58th minute. No, no, no. I don't like it. I do not like it. Why is he playing? He don't need to play. I know we're struggling a little bit at the moment, but I'm sure we can win the game without him playing. I know he likes to keep people involved and playing, but sometimes you got to protect a player from himself. Oh, man. I don't like that. I'm telling you now, I don't like that. Garbo said Sergio Biscuits and PK's form have fallen off a cliff. Wouldn't be afraid of Barca, to be honest. Big up, Garbo. Nah, man, I didn't like seeing Martinelli come on with over 30 minutes to go. It's hammering down with rain. We're playing on a plastic pitch. And Smith Rowe's injured. We got no left winger. Xhaka's on. Did Fabio Vieira just come off? I actually didn't see what happened. Or has he just gone to the right? I think he's gone on the right. Man said Bob Boldin was in Lapland with that Bodo chat. Man went to visit Santa Claus while they was in. It was mad. Curtis, you listen to Joe Black or Nines. Listen to a bit of Nines. Joe Black. Met Joe Black a few times. He was in that YouTube league that AFTV were playing in. He was one of the managers, so met him a few times. Yeah, we're struggling, bruv. Don't get twisted. They've been in this game. Here's Eddie left-hand side in front of the Arsenal fans. Can we get a second goal? Second goal wraps the game up. Martinelli on the ball, please. Just don't kick him. Don't even tackle him. Just pass Martinelli. Don't run at no one. Should have put Marquinhos on. I haven't tweeted it because, you know, last time it worked out well and it was no problem, but I wouldn't have been bringing him on. Listen to Lil Baby a little bit. Not bad. Good, more of a nightclub rapper. I think you're in a club, some Lil Baby comes on, you know, it's a vibe. Got a few bangers. Reece Nelson came off. Another bad day at the office for Reece. This for me, this will probably be Reece Nelson's last season at the club. I can't see him getting a new contract. Came on last week, looked lively. He's just played 60 minutes. He's done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Fabio Vieira. Like someone just said, Kevin, you wouldn't notice if he came off. Ball over the top, Bodo. Headed away again. Shoots from distance, goes high, wide, hits the back of the flats behind the goal. Nelson's Arsenal career might be over. Let's get one thing straight here. Reece Nelson's had a lot of opportunities at Arsenal to make it at this club, and he hasn't taken it. Let's be real. He was ahead of Saka and Smith Rowe in the youth system, and they've gone clear of him. He can't see them man no more. Big up Bally TV. Nelson not good enough. I always hoped that Nelson would make it at Arsenal, but it's just not happened for him. Paul said, I get you, but we need to wait a couple of years in the Champions League with the system we have and the coach we have. We need Champions League. Mark my words, we're going to attract the personalities we need, not just big names. Yeah, no, it's not even just big names. I agree with you. We need the right players. If we hit Champions League, Granit Xhaka nearly getting one-on-one there, nearly outpacing their defender. If we get Champions League this summer, we need to make, proper signings. Not that we haven't made proper signings, but the level of our team needs to go up, and our squad. We need to go up a level. Right, you're saying get Champions League. There's players who will come to Arsenal. Then let's see. We've got to prove it. E. Ross said, he's referring to Dre, big up, I want the dot along now. The dot along, man. Who can forget AFC Wimbledon away for the dot along? 28 minutes to go. I have to say a big thank you to the community because honestly, this game is an absolute stinker. It is a snore fest of a football match. Horrible game to watch. I would genuinely probably be in this chair asleep if the community weren't, engaging with the comments. It's a stinker of a game. Curtis, do you think Arsenal ever signed a world-class player? That is a great question. I saw this debate on TV once, and they were saying, have Arsenal ever signed a world-class player? Because let's be real, Sanchez went up a level when he came to Arsenal. Henry wasn't world-class when we signed him. Vieira wasn't world-class. They've overhit it there, Bodo. I think Sol Campbell, Mesut Ozil, Aubameyang, possibly. Bergkamp, he was having a bad time at Inter, but I think he was world-class. Was Sanchez world-class at Barca? He had times when he was world-class. I honestly think he went up a level. I would say Ozil, Bergkamp, they're the two that spring to mind. Sol Campbell was not far off. I still think Campbell got even better at Arsenal as well. Man said there's heaps. I don't think there is. A lot of our best players that we had, they became world-class at Arsenal. Henry, Vieira, Anelka, Ian Wright, these players became world-class. Perez was top quality when we signed him. Sanchez was so good at Barca. So, okay, maybe I'm doing him a disservice. Maybe Alexis was world-class at Barca. Overmars was top class as well. He was serious. So maybe a few. But not many. We definitely created more, like you said, Kev. Bodo on the attack, we clear it. Sambi on the ball. Goes long, looking for Martinelli. It's not a bad ball. Bounce, can we get there? No, it's cleared. Sanchez and Ozil. Luis Suarez, oh wait, yeah, that famous pound messed that deal up, unfortunately. Man, I'm so glad I didn't travel to watch this game. I genuinely, last week, I had an offer of a ticket and I thought, do you know what? Shall I go? It'd be good banter to go over there. Good little trip. I'm so glad I didn't go. I'd be sleeping in the stadium. Genuinely, I'm so glad. Stone Toad said, fell asleep. We scored again yet? No. 1-0 Snorefest. David said, Curtis, I think you're exaggerating. Arsenal is dominating possession and corners. I mean, possession and corners. Is that how we're looking at dominating the game, bro? They've had clear-cut chances. 2 of them there in about 5 minutes. So, listen, we're keeping a lot of the ball. We got a free kick there. Eddie gets pulled down. But they've had the better chances this half. Timestamp, one player you wish played or plays for Arsenal. Ronaldinho, I think. I would have loved Arsenal to have seen him, signed him. Can you imagine him playing left wing when we had Thierry? I mean, I think if we'd have signed Luis Suarez, we would have won the title. Arsene Wenger would probably still be the manager. That signing was a bad one. Cristiano Ronaldo, we nearly had that deal done. He was at the training ground. Here's Odegaard, left-hand side. Passes over, hit by Martinelli. It runs away. And Odegaard's cross is blocked by the goalkeeper. Messi. We tried to sign Messi, didn't we? He rejected us. We tried to sign Messi, Piqué, and Fabregas. So we got Fabregas. Piqué went to Man United. Messi rejected the deal. Jao said, I'm not even watching, just listening to you in the community. Great idea, man. I'm telling you, watch something else. Watch something else. I think because Barca put so much time and energy into Messi, I think they helped him grow, didn't they? Didn't they give him some tablets to speed up his hormone growth and stuff like that? So I think he felt he owed everything to Barcelona, so we weren't able to get him. Highbury's local badger, Ronaldinho, now he is world class. I mean, he's probably above world class. I would say he's in like the legendary category. Bodo shoot and it hits the stairs. Oh my days. Oh, honestly, I cannot wait for us to be in the Champions League to look back on these games and say, do you remember when we played Bodo Glimt and they had a block of flats behind the goal. It's all mad, people. Nearly signed Mbappe. Yeah, I think Wenger was talking about that in an interview the other day. He went to meet his dad in Monaco, tried to sign him, couldn't convince him to leave France at such a young age, and he decided to stay. Yann Villa. I mean, how many years did we complete that signing, but actually never completed it? You know, Yann Villa, Higuain, Benzema, William Carvalho, Draxler. There's a list of players that we basically signed, but just never ended up signing them, you know. Thomas Lemar. Oh, we've offered 90 million for Thomas Lemar on deadline day. Yeah, good one, mate. We know you weren't going to pay 90 million for Thomas Lemar. Man said paid for Messi's, but you know, it's all mad, people. It's wild. It's wild. Draxler, yeah, man, the list goes on. He still can't leave France. I see an interview where Mbappe said the president of France called him personally and said, like, we need you to stay at PSG. Like, if you leave, French football becomes a mess. And plus, the €1 million a week helps as well. We signed Mahrez. Remember Mahrez? That brother got a shirt with Mahrez's name on the back. Arsenal shirt. Odegaard coming off for Marquinhos. Tomiyasu coming on as well. Who's the other player coming off for Arsenal? Would it be Ben White? Ben White and Odegaard off. Listen, as I said, if we win this game and no one's injured, it's a successful night. These man, yo, are you man seeing these jackets that these lot are wearing? Something look like some glow-in-the-dark jackets. They're mad. I noticed Arsenal brought out new merch today as well. Another set of new merch came out this morning as well. Tomiyasu coming on for Ben White. Let's see how Marquinhos does. I'm assuming Marquinhos will play right wing. Tomiyasu looks like he's gone right back. Tierney's still on the pitch. I would have thought he would have come off as well. Imagine buying a Van Persie shirt the week after he's at United. That's why I stopped buying Arsenal shirts and putting names on the back. When I see Van Persie and them and go to United, I said, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't putting no one. And I loved Alexis Sanchez. Like, he was my favourite Arsenal player for a long time. And I never put his name on a shirt. And then that brother went United. I'm grinding this one out. I'm telling you. This is like last 20 minutes of a game. You're tired. Your manager's made all of the substitutes. You know you can't come off. And he just says, listen, just dig deep. Last 20 minutes. Work hard. You can have the day off tomorrow. Because I'm telling you now, this game is an absolute snore fest. It's a bad one. It's a real bad one. But this is what you get in Europa League group stages. Sebastian Scalacci, see if you could sign one player only in January and summer. Who would they be? Oh, Bodo could be in. Overhit it. Matt Turner collects it. One player in January and the summer. January, realistically, we need... Do we need the mid... All right, I think we need the midfielder. All right, I'll tell you I'd love to sign Milinkovic-Savic. I think he would be a great signing for Arsenal in January. 11 goals, 11 assists last season. It's his best season. He's 6'3", 6'4". Him and Partey would be massive in midfield. So that would be a great signing in January. In the summer, assuming we're in the Champions League, we need to go big for somebody. We need to sign somebody. We need to sign a player that I think the whole fan base is going crazy about. I think we need another winger. I think we're going to need another striker as well. You know, I wouldn't mind getting like a Leroy Sané, you know. Honestly, what I'm seeing of him this year, but like I said, I think he'll be difficult to get him. I'd love us to sign Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's going to leave Dortmund probably in the summer. I would love Arsenal to sign Jude Bellingham. He's being linked with Real Madrid at the moment. You know, once those kind of clubs are in the conversation, you've got no chance. So, yeah, I'd love us to sign Bellingham. Gnabry's done now. He signed a new deal. But, yeah, I would love to see Jude Bellingham at Arsenal. But I don't even think we're in the conversation. And that's what annoys me, you know. João Felix said South London's fine. He's a good player. Good player. Definitely needs to leave Atletico. Said for a long time. if you're an attacking talent like João Felix, you don't go and play for Simeone, who plays defensive football, you know. So Gnabry is a dream. Yeah, that one's gone. Bellingham and João Felix or Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney would be a very good signing for Arsenal as another option to go along with Jesus. I would actually take Ivan Toney. Very good hold-up play, strong. I think he could play in a 2 with Jesus. That would be a decent signing. Nkunku would have been a good one, but Chelsea have somehow got that deal wrapped up early. Lazio want 120 million for Milinkovic. I'm sure he's only got a year left in the summer. There's no way they would get that. Bias Schooner said, could someone please explain how Rob Holding is still at Arsenal? Man's wig is getting in his eyes and his defending is even worse. Listen, Arsenal has become this club over the years, and I'm not holding this against Arteta, but if you're a nice guy, if you train well, you don't complain, you'll stay at Arsenal for a long time. That's something Arsenal have got to get rid of. Get rid of that mentality. Be harsh. Champions don't do that. You don't look at anybody in that Man City team and go, why have Man City got him at the club? I don't think there's one player. The worst player at Man City would probably be like Nathan Ake or someone like that. And he starts for Holland at centre-back. You ain't, El Neni, Rob Holding, sentiment players, like E. Ross is saying. They're there because they're nice, because they train well. They don't give the manager any problem. They're not going to ask for a big pay rise. And they're great around the dressing room. And it's as simple as that. Scott Carson, let's be honest, Dennis, he's only at Man City because he's English. They've been doing this for years. I think Richard Wright was there for about 4 years as third choice goalkeeper, never played a game. I think Scott Carson makes 1 appearance a season. And apparently him and Ederson are best friends. So that's why Pep keeps him at the club. He trains well with Ederson. It's the English quota and things like that. So yeah, we got to stop doing that. No time for sentiment. Grace Guna said, I'm worried about Sambi. He's not getting better. I mean, I spoke about him quite a lot in the first half. A lot of people were saying I was being too harsh. Some people were agreeing with me. If you sign a player, this is the best way I'll describe it. If you sign a player for nearly £20 million in such an important position on the pitch as midfield, and you're supposed to be the backup player, how long do you give Sambi Lokonga as that squad player before you say, okay, is he good? What I'm trying to say, if we get in the Champions League next year and you've got Partey and Xhaka or Partey and someone else, is he good enough to come into the team? I think sometimes people judge players and go, well, he's just a squad player. But sometimes squad players have to play because your players get injured and they need to come in for 10 games. And those games can cost you, a Champions League place or whatever. So he's been all right tonight, Sambi. Don't get me wrong. He's been okay. He's been fine. He set up the goal. He done all right. But we're playing against Bodo Glimt, I saw him at Old Trafford against Man United. He was nowhere near good enough. So he has to start turning up the heat this season in the bigger games when he gets an opportunity, because I'm sure Partey or Xhaka will be out at some stage. So it's a big season for him. Big season. If he's in this position at the end of the season, I would be loaning him out. That would be my opinion. Give him a chance on loan for a year. Shane said, would you take Pedro Neto and Danilo in January? I have to admit, right, the boy Danilo, I can't make a judgment on him because he plays in Brazil. He's young. He doesn't start for Brazil. I honestly can't say I've ever watched him play a full 90 minutes. So I'm basically saying I'll take him based off the reputation on YouTube. Also, how long is it going to take him to adjust to the Premier League? I like Pedro Neto. It's just, has he recovered from that injury? I mean, Ish is saying Neto's injured again. He's come back from the knee injury and got injured again. That's a worry. So me personally, I would be putting 2 or 3 wingers above Pedro Neto, because if that injury keeps recurring and keeps getting other injuries, you don't want to spend 30, 40 million on Neto and he's injury prone. I'd rather go and get somebody else, to be honest. Because of the injury, I like him as a player. Garbo said, well, I'd have Holding over Maguire any day. Well, yeah. 80 million fridge is not going to do too much, is it? Knuckles said, I want to tear my eyes out watching this football. 13 minutes of, I would say football, more like training session to go. Yeah. People, if you're not watching this game live and you're tuned in to the watch along and you're thinking, shall I watch this game back later or watch the highlights? I'm telling you now, you don't need to watch the highlights. You don't need to watch the game back. It's a snore fest. I've said snore fest about 10 times. South London's finest said Trossard and Louise in January. I would be happy with those two. I think they're good squad players. I think Trossard gets in the Belgium squad. He'll probably go to the World Cup. Douglas Luiz was in the Brazil squad. I think because they've had such a bad season, Villa, I think they've dropped him from the squad now. He probably wishes that he'd signed for Arsenal, that's for sure. But yeah, I'd be happy with those two. Wouldn't cost a fortune. Premier League experience, boost the squad. I would take those two. This is a diabolical game. I'm not even sure it's that good, Oz. Shaquille said, I don't even want to hear the player ratings. I'm telling you, it may be something we just skip over. Because, you know what? I don't even want to talk about this game much on tomorrow's show. I can't lie. Annie said, Big C, did you ever rate Diaby? I thought Diaby had top quality potential at Arsenal. Again, injuries. Diaby, Rosicky, Wilshere. In the end, Santi Cazorla. They got 3 or 4 players that I think could have been top quality for Arsenal. So, yeah, I did rate Diaby. I really did. Here's Eddie Nketiah. Left-hand side has a heavy touch. He's tackled, and it is a goal kick. Family podcast. Big C, do you think Trent is going for a bad spell or that his level is being exposed? I've said many times, right? And I don't know why. I could be completely wrong with this. I think there's something going on with Trent. Like, it looks like, I don't know, he doesn't look happy on the football pitch. He looks like he's going through something. I do think, on the other hand, ultimately, he's been in a Liverpool team for the last 4 or 5 years that dominates football matches. They press high, they win the ball back high, you push Trent high, and he doesn't have to defend as much. Henderson used to cover him a lot, and he's probably gone, Trent, from being ran at 2, 3, 4 times a game to 8, 9, 10 times a game. Trent is not an elite defender. He never has been, and he probably never will be. He's a centre midfielder naturally, so he doesn't have those defensive instincts. He hasn't been coached as a defender. What he is incredible on the ball. If Liverpool are dominating, Trent looks incredible. When Liverpool are on the back foot and you've got a good winger, Trent can get exposed, and that's what's happened to Trent this year. Even Van Dijk hasn't looked as good this year. And people over the last few years have been saying he's one of the best centre-backs to ever play in the Premier League. Van Dijk looked decent, but not great against Arsenal the other day. So you see how good these players are when their team's under a lot of pressure. Bodo, great delivery there. Good clearance by Tomiyasu. I think Trent can bounce back. The injury might be a blessing in disguise for him. I genuinely think he needs a couple of weeks off the pitch. Michael said, I'm watching it with you in the background. You're keeping me awake. Bro, I'm telling you, this game, my eyelids feel like they got bricks in them watching this. I'm telling you, this would quickly get me to sleep. If it wasn't for the engagement in the chat, I'm telling you. King Creo, thank you for the super chat. Don't you think we should get Basuma in? Conte doesn't fancy him. Listen, they're never going to sell him to us, are they? I don't think Arsenal would ever try and sign a player from Tottenham nowadays. We got Sol Campbell because he was a free and the contract ran out. I don't. People will know in the comments, who's the last player that Arsenal signed from Tottenham, like directly for money? I don't remember us ever signing a player from Tottenham in my whole life, apart from Sol Campbell. And he was a free agent, so effectively he'd left the club. So, yeah, we're never going to go in for Basuma. We should have signed him in the summer. Highbury's local badger said, Trent and Zinchenko are alike. I'm watching this game, Curtis, now, and I would like to see a goal from Nketiah. The match is definitely boring. Well, here is Eddie inside the penalty area. One thing I'll say, I'll give Bodo credit. They've defended really well. They're doubling up all the time. They've made life difficult. You know, they drew 1-1 away in Holland with PSV, so they're clearly not bad. They're better than I thought. I got to be honest. Pat Jennings, people saying the last player we bought for money, and that was decades ago. 3 p.m. games in the UK not broadcast. No, I think they're going to start showing the Championship games at 3 p.m. But they're still not willing to do it in the Prem. They've got this theory that if 3 o'clock games are on TV in England, that fans will stop going to watch the game in the stadium, which I think makes no sense. I still think they would go to the stadium. Sambi comes off 7 minutes. He's only gone and done it. He's gone and done it, hasn't he? He's gone and done it. I warned him. I told him. I can't believe he's brought him on. Thomas Partey has been brought on a 4G AstroTurf pitch when we're 1-0 up with 7 minutes to go. Why would you bring him on? He's on the ball now. Just pass. Just pass, mate. Don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. Yep, kick it out for a throw. I'll take that. Kick it out for a throw, mate. Yeah? Don't let anyone tackle him. Don't do anything. Please. Look, he's putting challenges. Look. Oh, I thought he started limping then already. I'm telling you now, you don't play him in this game. 7 minutes, he don't need to play. Tell him relax. We're flying home in 3 hours. Put the big coat on him, relax. What? Why would you bring him on? I know some people in the comments saying, listen, you just bring him on to get a little bit of game time. What, 7 minutes on AstroTurf? You can't. It's too big a risk. Wild people. Listen, hopefully 7 minutes he's cool and we go unscathed. King Creo said, remember David Bentley? A lot more AFC gone to the Spuds, yeah? Yeah. He was a good player as well, by the way, David Bentley. He had a lot of talent. He actually quit football and set up a nightclub in Marbella, which is, an interesting choice of, I'll retire from football and just open a nightclub and go and live in Spain and relax. Honestly, every time Partey gets the ball, I'm nervous. He's on the ball now. Just pass it. Don't let anyone tackle him. I couldn't believe it. 7 minutes. People saying I'm panicking. Tommy, please, just get through this 7. 5 minutes to go. I'm trying to relax, man. Woosa. Get him through this 7 minutes unscathed, man. He's done it again, as Lee Judges would say. I don't want Partey injured. It's insane. Honestly, if he got injured in this game, I'd be doing Arsenal therapy at 2 p.m. I don't care if we win this game or not. Here come Bodo. Chance. Good tackle. Tomiyasu gives him a little elbow in the face. Just caressed him. Here's Martinelli. Another one who I'm shocked came on. He looks sharp, though. Arsenal on the attack. Marquinhos on his left foot has a heavy touch. You're going to shoot. Bro, who are you passing to? Bruh. He just kicked the ball out for a throw-in. What's going on? Man said he might get frostbite. Man just come on to warm up. Tell me this, said Big C, big up from the Arsenal Dublin Supporters Club, top of the table. Big up to you. Big up all the Irish Gooners. Top of the Europa League group and top of the Prem. Gonna roller. Missed my super chat. Apologies. Let me scroll back through. And find it. Loads of comments coming in. Big up everyone in the chat. 2,400 of you in the chat. Fantastic support. Don't forget, double watch along on Sunday. Arsenal against Leeds, then Liverpool against Man City. Big game. That gonna roll. I cannot see the super chat anyway. I'm scrolling through to see if I can find it. Marquinhos on the floor now. And one of the Bodo players down injured as well. Gonna roll. Apologies, bro. I cannot see that super chat anyway. I'm scrolling all the way back up. All right, we got it. We found it. Ronaldinho completed football at the highest pinnacle in 4 years. Won the World Cup, Champions League, Ballon d'Or, the undisputed GOAT. Listen, it's. I don't argue with it. I'm one of these. I've got to the point now with the GOAT argument that there isn't a clear GOAT in football. A lot of the older generation say Maradona. Nobody could have won a Champions League. Nobody could have won a World Cup with that team apart from him. A lot of people say Pele won the World Cup at 17. Me, I love R9 Ronaldo, best striker I've ever seen, and I was a striker, so maybe I'm just biased towards strikers. Then you got Ronaldinho, for me, the most skillful and the most entertaining footballer the world has ever seen. I've literally never wanted to watch a footballer as much as him. He was just pure footballing entertainment in its purest format. And then, you know, the new generation, some will say CR7, won titles in different leagues, won Champions Leagues, Ballon d'Ors. Some will say Messi won the most Ballon d'Ors ever. So it's a fantastic debate. It's a great debate. I think we're going to have to do a show about it, actually. It'll be a great debate. Big up Gunnarola. Big up Snake Eyes. Hope you're well, bro. He said, big up, bro. Your stuff is coming in. Was at the post office today. Big up C Unit. Big up to Snake Eyes. Appreciate your support in the channel as always, and big up to you. If you've been watching this game, it's it's a stinker. Don't watch the highlights back, people. There's no need for it. Leeds is going to be a tough game, says Paul. 100%. Leeds at Ellen Road is always tough. Loud atmosphere. They'll make life difficult for us. They're a better team than they were last year as well. But I do think we can beat them, if I'm being honest. Yeah, R9, man. I loved R9. Henok said, would you ever come to New Zealand? Yeah, why not? Why not? I've heard it's a very nice place. Eduardo, he was a finisher. For me, Messi will be the GOAT. Listen, I think if Messi wins the World Cup, and I think Argentina are third favourites to win the World Cup this year. They haven't lost in 31 games. If Messi wins the World Cup this summer, well, this winter actually, I think he will. I think you would have to give it him as the GOAT. I'm not saying he's necessarily everyone's favourite footballer of all time. Even if he wins the World Cup R9, I prefer R9 to Messi. But if Messi wins that World Cup, along with the Copa America that he's won, along with all them Champions Leagues, I think it's debate over. 7 Ballon d'Ors. If he wins the World Cup, he'll probably win the 8th Ballon d'Or. So yeah, man, it's one of them really. And Jabalo said, waiting for Curtis to do a full rewatch for the player ratings. I mean, people are saying don't do the player ratings tomorrow. And you know me, I'm a man of the community. If you don't want the player ratings, we'll cut that off. Because I'm not sure I really want to even talk about this game too much. El Marlo said Klopp is lashing out at the reporters. What it is now... Oh, Eddie Nketiah could be in. The goalkeeper's missed it. He's been tackled. And they've got away with it. What it is with Jurgen Klopp now is reporters know they can go into that press conference, say something a bit awkward, and Klopp's going to react. He's fuming. He's fuming. He can't deal with the questions that they're asking him. And he'll bite. And they know it makes headlines. So they go in there, they just ask him something inappropriate straight away. And he'll bite, Klopp. He's a bit spiky at the moment. In terms of ability, Messi is the greatest to ever play. Listen, he's up there, isn't he? He's up there. Leeds preview and waffle reaction only. Listen, we do what we need to do then, people. A little waffle reaction. And I think we're definitely not going to talk about this game in great detail tomorrow. That is for sure. Talk is Cheap's on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 5 o'clock at the moment, we're doing it. So this week's show is already out at the moment. Journos are the worst type. This, and they're paid to do a job. They do it. You know, they know Klopp's going to bite. They'll ask a stupid question. DJ Gatti said, why is Partey playing? Bro, if you'd have seen my reaction when he came on, I was fuming. Came on for 7 minutes as well. What's the point? We're in time added on. There's only a minute left. 3 minutes added on. We're 2 minutes in. Here is Partey. Looks unscathed at the moment. Don't give him the ball. Just keep it away from him. Here we go. Less than a minute to go, people. And finally, this game will be over. Where do you rank Titus Bramble? Listen, he plays like a GOAT. I mean an actual GOAT in a farmyard. Not the GOAT what you mean as Lionel Messi. Titus Bramble, you know. I remember that guy getting nutmegged by Fernando Torres from about 8 yards away. It was the slowest nutmeg I've ever seen. And, yeah, he was a terrible player. Big up Josh, I hope you're well, bro. He said, big up Curtis Pele, 3 World Cups, Di Stefano, 5 European Cups on the trot, scoring in every final. I always say it's difficult for me to judge those players. Pele's undoubtedly a GOAT of football. You look at his club career, though. He didn't really... Played in Brazil and America, didn't play in a major European league. But I understand that debate. Corner to Bodo. The goalkeeper's up. 10 seconds left. Ball whipped in. Matt Turner punches it away. And he gives a free kick to Arsenal. They actually scored on the rebound, but Matt Turner's on the floor. And they're having a little debate here. It's kicking off between the two goalkeepers. The 3 minutes time added on are up, people. I think when Turner takes this goal kick, this absolute stinker of a game will be over. Their goalkeeper actually seemed to barge Matt Turner out the way. Just blow the whistle, ref. We've had enough. Raul said Messi is brilliant dribbler, finisher, all in one. I always said the difference between Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo was the supreme goal scorer. Messi was the supreme player. He was able to run a game, create goals and score goals as well. But anyway, full-time whistle goes, people. Finally, that absolute torture of a game is over. I do think every game from this point will get a little bit better. PSV next week will be a much tougher test. Gakpo and players like that, it will be a better game. Arsenal won by a goal to nil. Bukayo Saka with the goal. Bit of a lucky goal. He had a shot. It rebounded. It actually hit him in the face and went in. But I'm actually delighted that that is over. Don't watch the highlights, don't watch the game back, and I will probably even skip player ratings in tomorrow's show when we actually go through the game. It will just be a roundup of the game quickly. We'll look ahead to Leeds and we'll do some waffle reaction from the manager. Bilali said, how dare you forget Zidane, damn you. Listen, Zidane's absolutely elite, one of the best midfielders we've ever seen, and unbelievable. Cruz back from training. I tell you what, you did not miss much in that game. I was going to get the pillow and go sleep. Saka with the goal. You called Saka scoring. You said 2-0, it was 1-0.
I thought Saka, I thought Odegaard would score.
Yeah, he got took off. They kicked him all over the pitch. Leeds on Sunday. Leeds away. Give me your score prediction. Arsenal against Leeds.
I'm saying, if they would have had for Rafinha, I would have said they would have scored, but I'm saying 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal, we'll take that.
Yeah.
And then later in the day, Liverpool, Man City at Anfield. Double watch along. Give me a score prediction for that one.
3-1 City.
3-1 City. You think they're just going to slap Liverpool?
If we can beat them, City can beat them.
Take that. I told them gaming channel soon, man. Fortnite, FIFA on the way, man. Look out for Cruz channel. Shimmer said, can't wait for player ratings. That could be a 20-second skip over, people. I don't know if I'll be going in detail with the player ratings tomorrow. That is for sure. Cody Mystified, there was 2 shots on target. Let me just quickly look at the stats of the game. I'm so glad that game's over, by the way. Arsenal had 58% possession, 1 shot on target that was the goal, 6 shots off target. I mean, they had 1 shot on target, 5 off. Stinker of a game. Glad it's over. People, I will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. We will briefly, and when I say brief, I mean like 20 seconds, we'll review the game. Evan said, I'd rather watch paint dry. It would be more exciting. 2 o'clock tomorrow, we'll skip through the player ratings quickly. We'll skip through the game. We'll get into some waffle from Arteta press conference reaction. And we'll look ahead to the Leeds game, which will be the bigger game. Brian, thank you for your donation. Said Brian from Brooklyn, New York. You deserve £1,000 super chat for this mess of a match, MLS level. I think it was worse than MLS, Brian. Big up to everyone for tuning in. 2,300 of you in the chat. Lick that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely wasn't a classic, but we won. Hopefully no one got injured, and we go again this weekend. Top of the group and Leeds in the Premier League on Sunday, 2 p.m. tomorrow. I will see you all soon, people. Bless.